the tribal state of Jharkhand look like? That's the second key state which goes to polls tomorrow, and then on the 20th, the political stock exchange for Jharkhand coming up on the news track.
"43 constituencies, 63 candidates, 1.37 crore voters." Stage set for State of War Jharkhand. Caste Constitution infiltration. What is the biggest issue? Will Soren get sympathy votes? Who has the edge in Jharkhand? That is our political stock exchange.
Let me take you through the headlines I'm tracking tonight. Maharashtra poll campaign heats up. Prime Minister says Congress's Shehzada will scrap reservation. Rahul Gandhi alleges the Prime Minister has never read the Constitution. Yogi Adityanath versus Mallikarjun Kharge war of words over Batenge to Katenge slogan escalates. UP CM hits back at Kharge's terrorist jibe, says for Congress appeasement comes first.
कि मेरे देश पहले है, क्योंकि मेरे नेता मोदी जी ने हमें यही बताया है कि पहले हर काम देश के नाम। लेकिन आपके लिए कांग्रेस की तुष्टीकरण की नीति पहले।
Big Muslim quota fight ignites in Telangana. Chief Minister Revant Reddy claims PM Modi will scrap Muslim reservation. BJP dismisses Revant's claim. India conducts successful maiden flight of the long-range cruise missile capable of hitting targets 1,000 kilometers away. The missile adds to India's already deadly missile arsenal. Team Trump 2.0 takes shape. China hawk Marco Rubio, frontrunner for Secretary of State. Man behind PM Modi's recent capital speech. Mike Waltz picked as National Security Advisor. Tomorrow, Jharkhand votes in Phase 1 of the Assembly elections. Voting will take place in 43 constituencies with 635 candidates in the fray. Issues of caste, constitution and infiltration have dominated the campaign. The India Alliance is banking on its social welfare promise. Hours before the votes are cast, the question is, who has the edge in the state of war Jharkhand?
The stage is set for round 1 of the Jharkhand battle. The high-octane campaign has set the stage for a polarized poll clash. For the BJP, Prime Minister Narendra Modi led the charge with his "Ek rahenge to safe rahenge" war cry.
आप याद रखिए, जब आप अलग-अलग जाति में बटेंगे तो आपकी संख्या कम होगी। फिर कांग्रेस वाले आपका आरक्षण आपसे छीनेंगे। हम एक रहेंगे तो सेफ रहेंगे।
Illegal infiltration from Bangladesh has been the big issue raised by the BJP to target the Hemant Soren government.
ये हेमंत बाबू घुसपैठिए को लाल जाजम बिछाकर बुलाते हैं। आपकी युवाओं रोजी रोटी नौकरी एक घुसपैठिए ले जा रहे हैं। हमारी आदिवासी बहनों से दूसरी, तीसरी, चौथी शादी कर कर उनकी जमीन कब्जाते हैं।
Both the BJP and the India Alliance have gone all out to woo women and tribal voters. Chief Minister Hemant Soren, out on bail after a 5-month tenure in jail in an alleged money laundering case, is banking on his popular schemes to return to power.
हमारा विपक्ष का लोग, पूरा देश का भारतीय जनता पार्टी कमल छाप का लोग आया हुआ है, 50-60 वो हेलीकॉप्टर लेके बैठा हुआ है और गीत कौआ की तरह पूरा राज में मंडरा रहा है। आप लोग तैयार करो अपना तीर धनुष और सब चिल कौआ को ऊपर से नीचे गिराओ, फटको सबको।
The top face of the India alliance, Rahul Gandhi, has reiterated the India bloc's commitment for prioritizing social welfare.
जनवरी, फरवरी, मार्च, अप्रैल, मई, जून, जुलाई, अगस्त, सितंबर, पहली तारीख को आपके बैंक अकाउंट में खटाखट खटाखट खटाखट।
In the last assembly elections in 2019, the JMM Congress RJD alliance won 26 out of 43 seats contested in this phase, including a majority of the scheduled tribe reserved seats. With Amit Bharadwaj, Bureau Report, India Today.
What I want to do on the political stock exchange is take you through some data which gives you a sense of how Jharkhand is shaping up before polling begins, and also we'll speak to some of the players on the ground to get a sense of how confident they are about what may happen on the 23rd. So what I've done is a cross-tab between Maharashtra and Jharkhand to give you a comparative sense of how those same issues stack across these two poll-bound states. So we look at the important issues in this election, and I've got Maharashtra here on the right, I've got Jharkhand on the left. It will give you a very quick comparative sense of which issue matters more in which state. 42% of the respondents in this poll told C voter that unemployment was the number one issue, whereas in Maharashtra it was only 25%. 25% by itself is big, but if 42% in Jharkhand are saying unemployment is a big issue, that shows the severity of the jobs crisis in poll-bound Jharkhand. Road, water, power, roughly the same in both these states, 13 versus 12. Farmer issues far less important in Jharkhand, only 5% feeling that farmer issues was their most important issue, whereas in Maharashtra, it was almost 4x that. 19% of the respondents felt farmer issues was their big issue. So corruption, not much of a factor in Jharkhand. Remember, the BJP has been talking a lot about corruption by the JMM, but it's not the most important issue for most of the voters. Neither is the most important issue in Maharashtra. Let's come to inflation. Inflation matters to 10% of the voters in Jharkhand as their number one issue, to 16% in Maharashtra as their number one issue. So that's the broad sense. Unemployment, much more a factor in Jharkhand than it is in Maharashtra. That being said, I want to welcome Yashwant Deshmukh of C Voter. Amitabh Tiwari is our in-house cephalogist, has been working with our teams in putting some of these data sets together. So I want to go to Yashwant first. Yashwant, 42% of the respondents in this data in Jharkhand say that unemployment is their number one issue. In Maharashtra too, it's the number one issue, but when you stack those two as a cross-tab, it shows you just how much a bigger challenge jobs is in Jharkhand versus Maharashtra.
Of course, and this also tells us that basically in Maharashtra, we have the farmer issue in a much bigger impact. When I'm saying having a day-to-day impact, that is very clear. As far as Jharkhand is concerned, Rahul, I think it's important to understand that Bihar, Jharkhand, West Eastern UP belt, that entire Purab as we club together, has been always sending a big number of migrant labor and migrant worker to other states. And job has been always an issue over there, particularly jobs near home, jobs within the state. When the unemployment is set as an issue, it's also as an issue in terms and in context of that there are not many jobs within their home state.
Okay, I want to go now to the second question on the political stock exchange tracker, and this is to do with who is the preferred choice for Chief Minister. Now, naturally, the incumbent always has a name recall advantage by the very fact that he's been in office for the past 5 years. So, Hemant Soren is the number one choice for 40% of the respondents. from the BJP's camp, it's very clear that Babulal Marandi is the number one choice at 26%. The others like Arjun Munda is only 3, Raghubar Das, the former chief minister, is only 6. It's interesting that Champai Soren, who comes from Kolhan, where the BJP is weak, is at 9%. So he's number 3, ahead of Arjun Munda and Raghubar Das. And that would give the BJP some strength that he has some traction in the Kolhan area. Now, how do you read this, Amitabh Tiwari? Babulal Marandi at 26%, Champai Soren at 9%, and the fact that Hemant Soren is the number one choice for 40% of the respondents in this data.
Yeah, so normally the incumbent chief ministers do get a better recall when you ask this question. And that is more significant when there is no opposition CM phase. So clearly we see that Hemant Soren is at number 1. However, if you add all the CM aspirants from BJP's side, the number is higher than Hemant Soren. It is 44% versus 40%. So that also gives an indication that the combined Adivasi leadership of BJP, including Babulal Marandi, who has still a very good image in Jharkhand, is slightly higher than Hemant Soren. While Hemant Soren continues to be the dominant figure, BJP has put up a combined leadership and also brought in Champai Soren, who is not only gaining 9%, 10% ratings, but also probably helping in the Kolhan region where the BJP could not win even a single seat in 2019.
Okay, I want to welcome two guests right now. Sanjay Seth is the Union Minister of Defence, Member of Parliament from Ranchi from the BJP. We also have Supriyo Bhattacharya, General Secretary, spokesperson of the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, the JMM. I want to go across to Sanjay Seth first. Sanjay Seth, why do you think the voters of Jharkhand are going to help you come back to power ahead of polling tomorrow? आपको ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है कि इस दफा बीजेपी के सत्ता में लौटने की बारी है?
डेफिनेटली आप देखो, मैं कह सकता हूं झारखंड पिछले 5 सालों में हेमंत सोरेन की सरकार और कांग्रेस, इन दोनों ने सिर्फ धोखा दिया, सिर्फ मुंगेरी लाल के हसीन सपने दिखाए, युवाओं को धोखा दिया, महिलाओं को धोखा दिया, किसानों को धोखा दिया। इन्होंने कहा था, मैं अपने पिता शिबू सोरेन की कसम खा के कहता हूं कि 5 लाख लोगों को हर साल नौकरी देंगे, युवाओं को, नहीं तो गद्दी छोड़ देंगे। 5 लोगों को नौकरी नहीं दी और उन्होंने वादा किया था अगर नौकरी नहीं दे पाए तो बेरोजगारी भत्ता 6,000 रुपए देंगे, नहीं तो कुर्सी पे लात मार देंगे। वो भी नहीं किया। महिलाओं को कहा था कि 2-2 हजार रुपए चूल्हा खर्चा देंगे, नहीं दे पाए तो हम वोट मांगने नहीं आएंगे, वो भी नहीं दिया। इन्होंने वायदा किया था 5 साल पहले कि बेटी की शादी में सोने का सिक्का देंगे। सोने का सिक्का तो छोड़ दो, पीतल का भी सिक्का नहीं दिया, लोहे का भी सिक्का नहीं दिया। आम लोग नाराज हैं।
नहीं, पर कईयों को यह भी लग रहा है कि जो मुख्यमंत्री हेमंत सोरेन के खिलाफ इन्फोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट की कार्रवाई हुई, उससे थोड़ी सिंपैथी बनी, उससे लोगों की सहानुभूति बनी और इसी वजह से लोकसभा इलेक्शन में जो 5 ट्राइबल सीट्स थी उसमें बीजेपी की पराजय हुई। और ये सवाल खड़ा हो रहा है कि क्या आपके खिलाफ एक ट्राइबल कंसोलिडेशन होगा, संजय जी?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, आप देखो, आदिवासी मुख्यमंत्री थे और रूबिका पहाड़िया, एक बेटी के 150 टुकड़े किए गए, न्याय मिला क्या? रूपा तिर्की एक पुलिसकर्मी थी, दुमका में उसकी हत्या हो गई, न्याय मिला क्या? हमारे लोकसभा के अंदर पशु तस्करों ने संध्या टोपो के ऊपर गाड़ी चढ़ाकर मार दिया, न्याय मिला क्या? नहीं मिला। आप सेना की जमीन लूटोगे, आप आदिवासी की जमीन लूटोगे, आप भ्रष्टाचार करोगे, आपके आलमगीर आलम, माने भ्रष्टाचार का आलम देश ने देखा, कैसे उनके पीएस के यहां 40 करोड़ पे नगद बरामद होता है और एक जो लाल डायरी मिली उसमें 500 करोड़ का लोग लेन देन का खाता चिट्ठा बना हुआ है। कैसे लोग विश्वास करेंगे? आपके एक आईएएस ऑफिसर पूजा सिंघल के यहां कितना पैसा बरामद हुआ, 3 साल से जेल में है, लोग विश्वास करेंगे क्या? एक कांग्रेस सांसद के यहां 350 करोड़ रुपया बरामद हुआ। ये कौन सा पैसा था? यही लूट का पैसा था ना। आप लूट करोगे, आप विकास का पैसा लूटोगे, रिश्वत लोगे, सेना की जमीन लूटोगे, तो कार्रवाई नहीं होगी क्या?
अच्छा, आपका एक बड़ा पोल प्लैंक था इन्फिल्ट्रेशन की, घुसपैठ हो रही है, बांग्लादेशी घुसपैठिए आ रहे हैं, उससे डेमोग्राफी बदल रही है। पर जो राज्य सरकार के नुमाइंदे हैं वो कहते हैं कि भाई झारखंड तो बॉर्डर स्टेट है ही नहीं, और अगर घुसपैठ हो रही है तो उसको रोकना तो केंद्र सरकार की जिम्मेदारी है।
बिल्कुल राहुल जी, मैं बताता हूं, देश का पहला राज्य झारखंड है जहां मुख्यमंत्री हेमंत सोरेन ने यह आदेश दिया, कोई पशु तस्कर की गाड़ी कोई थाना नहीं रोकेगा, कोई पुलिसकर्मी नहीं रोकेगा। गौ माता झारखंड से बांग्लादेश जाए कटने को, सेफ जोन किसने दिया? झारखंड की सरकार ने दिया ना। हजारों की तादाद में रोजाना गौ माता बांग्लादेश कटने जाती है। अगर कोई हिंदू समाज का, कोई सनातनी रोकता है तो उस पर केस हो जाता है। यही सेफ जोन जो बांग्लादेश के घुसपैठिए, उनको सेफ जोन मिल गया। वो आते हैं और एक वोट बैंक मिल गया इनको। अरे बांग्लादेश से आ रहे हैं, वो आए, उनको आधार कार्ड फेक बन जाता है, वोटर आई कार्ड फेक बन जाता है, आराम से यहां रहते हैं, कोई पुलिस कार्रवाई नहीं करती। मैं तो रांची लोकसभा का सदस्य हूं ना। रांची में 1 लाख के करीब, मैं ऑथेंटिक बोल रहा हूं, 1 लाख के करीब बांग्लादेशी मुसलमान घुसपैठिए घुस के दिन में वो फल फ्रूट बेचते हैं और शाम को लॉ एंड ऑर्डर डिस्टर्ब करते हैं, कहीं स्नैचिंग करते हैं, कहीं चोरी करते हैं, कहीं मर्डर होता है। ये हालात बना दिए हैं। संथाल में 5 जिले पूरी तरह घुसपैठिए, माने आप समझ लो डेमोग्राफी बदल दी। अब तो राजधानी में हालात हैं, पुलिस कोई कार्रवाई नहीं करती, कौन रोकेगा? क्या 1-1 इंच पे सेना लग जाएगी क्या?
ऐसा माना जा रहा है कि बीजेपी जो ट्राइबल इलाके हैं वहां पे कमजोर है, कम से कम लोकसभा इलेक्शंस में तो यही देखा गया। आपको क्यों ये लग रहा है कि जो लोकसभा में हुआ वो फिर से दोहराया नहीं जाएगा असेंबली इलेक्शन में?
देखो नैया पार राहुल जी आप समझो, इन्होंने ही 5 साल पहले कहा था कि झारखंड की लाखों महिलाओं को 2-2 हजार रुपया चूल्हा खर्चा देंगे। दिया क्या? जब चुनाव आए, जब हार का डर आया, फ्रस्ट्रेशन आया और लगा कि अब तो कहीं की नहीं है, तो आप एक मैया योजना के नाम से एक आपने शुरू कर दिया, एक मुंगेरी लाल के हसीन सपने दिखाने शुरू कर दिए। क्या ये जायज है क्या? और हमने कहा हम गोगो दीदी योजना के तहत हम 2100 रुपया देंगे। हमने तो वादा नहीं किया था 5 साल पहले। 5 साल पहले आप ही ने वादा किया था, आपने दिया नहीं। आपने ही तो वादा किया था बेटी की शादी में हम सोने का सिक्का दे देंगे। अरे सोने का सिक्का तो छोड़ दो राहुल जी, इनसे पूछो लोहे का भी सिक्का दिया क्या?
ओके
क्यों हार के डर से फिर आपने मैया योजना और एक प्रलोभन, एक मुंगेरी लाल के हसीन सपने आपने दिखाने शुरू कर दिया आपने?
Okay, just stay with me. I want to show how the performance of the state government in Jharkhand compares with the government in Maharashtra. So we took the level of satisfaction with the performance of the government. So how angry are you with the state government? Do you want to change it? It's interesting that in Maharashtra and Jharkhand, both angry and want change is 51%. Not angry, don't want change is 41%. Is that odd, Yashwant Deshmukh, that these are both almost the same? And I also want to show you the next sheet, which again gives you a sense of how the government is doing. This is to do with rate the development work carried out by the state government here in Jharkhand. 41% say the development has been good. Maharashtra 53% say the development has been good. In Jharkhand 33% say the development work done by the state government has been poor, and in Maharashtra that figure is 23%. So it would seem from the outside that people are more satisfied. Voters in Maharashtra are more satisfied with the work of the local government than voters in Jharkhand. I want to put that question to Yashwant Deshmukh.
Yeah, Rahul, it seems like that. And it also seems like that probably the anti-incumbency is likely to be more acute in Jharkhand to a certain extent. That in the different regions of Jharkhand, barring the Santhal Pargana, I think the state government is facing certainly angry numbers in other regions. So Santhal Pargana is fine. Santhal is fine where, that is their core area and there is hardly much of incumbency over there. It also depends on the state level leadership that they have been projected. You know, we could not see the region-wise leadership projection, but certainly Champai Soren was significantly bigger number in Kolhapur and that area, which is his home turf rather than other state areas. And one thing which I want to point out, Rahul, that this is probably one of those few elections where BJP has actually not given a CM face. Babulal Marandi in all our trackers earlier used to get a significantly higher number. But this time, even though he is number one between them, I mean, there is no question about it among the BJP candidates. And as Amitabh pointed out, overall BJP numbers are higher in terms of leadership than. But I guess that him being not projected as the CM candidate also has something to do with the lesser number on that side. But not many. If it would have been probably declared candidate as a chief ministerial candidate, a lot many number might have been coming across much more.
Ghulam Ahmed Mir joins us. He's the Congress in charge for Jharkhand. Last time I remember RPN Singh played the same role. He took the party and the alliance to a famous victory. He's now on the side of the BJP. Ghulam Ahmed Mir Saab, welcome. From the data and from a interpretation of the data, it seems that there is a high level of anti-incumbency and quite a strong desire for change amongst voters right before polling begins.
राहुल, ये तो फिगर मैंने आपका सुन लिया है, मगर जो हम यहाँ ग्राउंड सिचुएशन देख रहे हैं तो फिलहाल हम लोगों को तो ऐसा नज़र नहीं आ रहा है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर जो मैनिफेस्टो जो 2019 में दिया गया था उसके आगे जाकर यहाँ की कोलिशन सरकार ने कुछ ऐसे अच्छे काम किए हैं जिसको लोग सीधा रेस्पॉन्ड कर रहे हैं, फील कर रहे हैं कि कोई सरकार तो आई है कि जिसने चाहे किसानों के लिए बात रखी या चाहे महिलाओं के लिए सम्मान की बात रखी, वो सीधे इम्पैक्ट फुल प्रोग्राम्स है। और जो हम यहाँ कैंपेन में देख रहे हैं तो 50% आबादी तो सीधे ओब्लाइज फील कर रही है आज की हमारी गठबंधन सरकार से जो उन्होंने इनिशिएटिव्स लिए हैं। बाकी ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट 5 साल की जो बात है उसमें नेशनल लेवल पर भी, झारखंड में भी कोविड के भी कहानियाँ रही है, वो सभी स्टेटों को फेस करना पड़ा। और उसके बाद आप जानते हो कि यहाँ पर पिछले 1-1.5 साल से काफ़ी पॉलिटिकल इंस्टेबिलिटी की भी बातें रही है, और उसके बावजूद जो यहाँ की लीडरशिप ने, जो यहाँ के मुख्यमंत्री ने इनिशिएटिव्स लिए हैं, और हमें साफ दिखाई दे रहा है कि उसको लोग रिस्पॉन्ड कर रहे हैं एज कंपेयर टू अदर साइड बीजेपी, जो सिर्फ
बीजेपी आरोप लगा रही है इन्फिल्ट्रेशन का कि घुसपैठिए आ रहे हैं आपके राज्य में, कैश पकड़ा जा रहा है मुख्यमंत्री के इर्द गिर्द जो उनके साथी हैं, सपोर्टर्स हैं। तो ये तो बहुत सीरियस चार्ज हैं जो आपकी सरकार पे लग रहे हैं।
वो सुनिए ना, ये स्टेट सरकार पर तो चार्ज आना नहीं चाहिए, क्योंकि देश ने 10 साल पहले ये जिम्मेदारी भारतीय जनता पार्टी नरेंद्र मोदी जी को दी है कि देश के नागरिकों को सुरक्षित रखना ये उनकी जिम्मेदारी है, देश के बॉर्डर्स को सिक्योर रखना ये उनकी जिम्मेदारी है। तो यहाँ पर तो लोग मजाक कर रहे हैं कि जब बीजेपी ये बात उठा रही है घुसपैठियों की, तो उसका मतलब हमारे बॉर्डर सेफ नहीं है। हमारी जो मरकजी सरकार है, डिफेंस मिनिस्ट्री है, होम मिनिस्ट्री, दे आर फेल। वो किसी भी तरह से स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है। ये तो एक अनपढ़ आदमी भी, कम पढ़ा लिखा आदमी भी समझ रहा है। जो जिम्मेदारी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की है, और वो खुद ही सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट अपने फेलियर उसको जनता के सामने पेश कर रही है, और 11 साल से वो हुकूमत में है। अगर कोई इस तरह का इन्फिल्ट्रेशन का अटेम्प्ट हुआ है तो वो कहाँ सोए हुए थे? उन्होंने उस चीज को नंगा क्यों नहीं किया? उनके केसेस क्यों नहीं हुए? वेरिफिकेशन क्यों नहीं हुई? ये तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की जिम्मेदारी है।
I want to show this data to our viewers, which is to do with which scheme tracks the most. And this is very interesting because when you're watching India Today at this time and somebody tells you that, you know, I'm going to give you 1,000 rupees if you're a woman between 18 and 50, it may not seem like a very big deal. But if you ask voters in Jharkhand, which scheme is tracking the most? Then the Mukhyamantri Maya Samman Yojana, which is for women, their respect, and the scheme by the Chief Minister for this purpose is frankly the only scheme that tracks. 46% think it's a big deal. The Ladki Behan Yojana in Maharashtra had similarly high numbers. Everything else is much lesser. The Savitribai Phule Kishori Samriddhi Yojana is 2%. Abua Vas Yojana is 10%. Now, Amitabh Tiwari, why is it that this one scheme, whether it is in Madhya Pradesh or in Maharashtra or now in Jharkhand, a cash transfer into the account of women is tracking as, because there are other schemes. The government can build a house for you, the government can build roads, they give you free food grains. There's so many other benefits you get from government. Why does this one scheme rank so far above everything else?
Because it's a direct cash transfer scheme, it results in an immediate beneficiary status. Let's say you're an Ayushman scheme, you have enrolled as a beneficiary, but you're just a card holder. You will become a beneficiary when you actually go and use that card when you unfortunately get sick. In a cash transfer scheme, there is no leakage. In other schemes of the government where it is building houses, roads, etc., there is significant leakage because corruption is also one of the big issues there. And also, it signals women empowerment because Jharkhand, if you see, it has 24 districts. Almost all the districts of Jharkhand are in the most backward list of India. Its per capita income is almost half of national income. So there is a lot of rural agri-distress, and this helps people alleviate their concerns regarding the high prices of essential commodities, etc. Also, if you see, this has been done not very early compared to Maharashtra. This has been done in the last 2 to 3 months, whereas the Maharashtra scheme is there for, I think, 5 to 6 months now. It is a late realization because the government has not fulfilled the unemployment allowance promise and the stove allowance promise which it had given in 2019.
Okay, let Gulami respond to this, that the unemployment promise, the stove promise, ये बीजेपी गिना रही है कि जो आपने वायदे किए थे पिछले चुनाव के टाइम पे वो तो आप पूरे कर नहीं पाए, तो आपकी गारंटीज को कैसे कोई सीरियसली ले सकता है?
नहीं, ऑलमोस्ट अगर आप देखेंगे, मैंने जो 2 एरियाज आपको बताए कि कोविड का भी मामला रहा और फिर पॉलिटिकल इंस्टेबिलिटी भी यहाँ पर क्रिएट करने की कोशिश की गई, उसके बावजूद भी फिलहाल जो हमारी एम्प्लॉयमेंट के सेक्टर में जितना फास्ट ट्रैक पर इस सरकार ने काम किया है, मुझे नहीं लगता कि देश के किसी और स्टेट ने ऐसा किया होगा। पिछले 1 साल से कंटिन्यूसली जो वैकेंसीज थी उनको फास्ट ट्रैक पर एजुकेटेड यूथ्स को दिए गए और कंटिन्यूसली जगह खाली भी हो रही है और भरी भी जा रही है। ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं किया। हाँ, एक एरिया और बेहतर हो सकता था अगर नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार, जो झारखंड का रॉयल्टी का पैसा उनके पास डिपॉजिट है, जिसको लेकर झारखंड सरकार कंटिन्यूसली उनको अपील कर रही है कि हमें वो 1,36,000 करोड़ जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का ड्यू है वो हमें दीजिए, शायद कुछ और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, कुछ और जॉब क्रिएटेड वाली एरियाज को काम किया गया होता। जो झारखंड का हक है वही नहीं दे रहे हैं।
I'm joined by Supriyo Bhattacharya, General Secretary Spokesperson of Jharkhand Mukti Morcha. हम अभी बीजेपी के संजय सेठ से बात कर रहे थे। बीजेपी के नेता काफ़ी कॉन्फिडेंट साउंड करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि इतनी एंटी इनकम्बेंसी आपकी सरकार के खिलाफ बन चुकी है कि बीजेपी एक बार फिर से रांची में सत्ता में आने वाली है।
आप बताइए ना, हमारा झारखंड कहीं से भी इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर तो शेयर करता नहीं है और 2014 से 2024 तक केंद्र में जो भाजपा की सरकार रही, तो 2014 से 24 के लोकसभा चुनाव के पहले तक कहीं कोई घुसपैठ नहीं था। अचानक से ये 2024 के पार्लियामेंट के इलेक्शन के पहले से कहाँ से घुसपैठी आ गया, कहाँ से पैराड्रॉपिंग हुआ? तो ये कोई इशू ही नहीं है। घुसपैठ एक्चुअली भाजपा के अंदर हुआ है। जिस प्रकार से अन्य दलों के नेताओं को लोकसभा के पहले लाया गया, पार्टियों को तोड़ा गया, घरों को तोड़ा गया, उसके बाद ये जो घुसपैठी है जब भाजपा के अंदर ही ये इस बात की मरमरिंग शुरू हुई कि असली भाजपा कहाँ है, तो इसको इन्होंने सार्वजनिक किया कि नहीं ये मुसलमान है। अरे कोई गृह मंत्री और प्रधानमंत्री मुसलमान शब्द का यूज करता है क्या चुनाव प्रचार?
नहीं, पर जो
हो रहा है
ट्राइबल वोट है झारखंड का वो बहुत अहम है। बार बार बीजेपी कह रही है कि डेमोग्राफी बदल रही है। 51 के सर्वे में शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब्स करीब 35% थे, गिरते गिरते वो 2011 में 26% पे आ जाता है। वो कह रहे हैं कि घुसपैठिए आ रहे हैं और जो लोकल पॉपुलेशन है, खासतौर से जो ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन है, वो कम हो रही है।
भैया मेरे, आपको थोड़ी सी भी जानकारी हो कि 1951 की जो बात कर रहे हैं, 1952 से यहाँ पर इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन शुरू हुआ जो अभी तक जारी है। तो इसलिए यहाँ पर बाहर से बहुत सारे लोग आए 52 से लेकर अभी तक 2000 के बनने के बाद जब राज्य अलग हुआ, तो ये तो बाहर से लोग जो आ रहे हैं तो उनकी संख्या बढ़ ही जाएगी। उसमें हिंदू और मुसलमान का कहाँ शब्द है? तो इसलिए हम लोग कहते हैं कि जो डेमोग्राफी का चेंज हो रहा है वो तो राजधानी रांची का भी चेंज हुआ है। पहले 51 में जो हमारा मेन रोड भी था वो भी पक्का नहीं था, जो महात्मा गांधी रोड है वो भी लाल मुहर्रम का रोड था। मैं चूँकि जन्मा नहीं था, मैं सुना हूँ और जो ब्लैक एंड वाइट तस्वीरें देखा हूँ, तो इसलिए इस तरह से बातें करना बेवकूफ़ी है।
बीजेपी बहुत सीरियस चार्जेस लगा रही है आपकी सरकार पे करप्शन के, गवर्नेंस फेलियर्स के। आपके मुख्यमंत्री जेल जाते हैं ईडी के केस में, उनके इर्द गिर्द लोगों पे छापे पड़ते हैं, कैश निकलता है, कई सारी गड्डियां कैश की भरी हुई। ये कह रहे हैं कि देखिए लूट मची हुई है झारखंड में आपके राज्य।
भैया मेरे वहाँ पर करप्शन के चार्जेस है, एक भी प्रूव्ड नहीं है, लेकिन जो संपत्तियाँ जब्त हुई महाराष्ट्र में अजित पवार की, नारायण राणे की, आपके छगन भुजबल की, आप उनको उप मुख्यमंत्री बना रहे हैं। जिसके ऊपर में आपने चार्जशीट लाया है हेमंत विश्व शर्मा को, उसको आपने मुख्यमंत्री बनाया, यहाँ का सह प्रभारी बनाया। और हमारे मुख्यमंत्री को जब बेल हुआ तो हाईकोर्ट का ऑब्जर्वेशन यदि आप पढ़ लेंगे तो आपको लग जाएगा कि ये छल प्रपंच और पूरा का पूरा एक षड्यंत्र था जिसका खुलासा हाईकोर्ट ने किया। इसलिए बहुत साफ शब्दों में कह सकता हूँ कि झारखंड में इससे इसका इतना गहरा लोगों को धक्का लगा है।
चंपाई सोरेन के दल बदलने को आप कैसे देखते हैं? बीजेपी को खासी उम्मीद है कि कोल्हान इलाके में, चूंकि वो टाइगर ऑफ कोल्हान के नाम से जाते हैं, उनका दबदबा है और हमने देखा भी कि खासतौर से उस इलाके में उनकी लोकप्रियता भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा है और इनकी मौजूदगी से बीजेपी को लगता है कुछ वोट पड़ेंगे कोल्हान में।
मैं तो कहूँगा चंपैदा को कि चंपैदा जब तक हमारे साथ रहे, चंपैदा कोल्हान के टाइगर हो गए। लेकिन आपको मैं बता दूं, उनका जो अभी वो भी चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं 2 जगहों पर, एक वो है उनका पुत्र। आप देख लेंगे 23 तारीख को नतीजा आने दीजिए, वो दोनों सीट भी भाजपा गवाएगी और झारखंड मुक्ति मोर्चा के झोले भी जाएगा।
बीजेपी इस तरह के स्लोगन लेके आई है, बटेंगे तो कटेंगे, एक रहेंगे तो सेफ रहेंगे, और ये माना जा रहा है कि इस तरह से स्लोगन से कंसोलिडेशन हो सकता है हिंदू कम्युनिटी के बीच में। अगर हिंदू एक हो गए तो फिर जो पूरा आपका कास्ट अरिथमेटिक है, कास्ट गणित है, जातीय गणित, वो फेल हो सकता है कंसोलिडेशन के सामने।
देखिए, बटेंगे से बढ़ता है, कटेंगे नहीं होता है। और एक रहेंगे, सेफ रहेंगे, वो तो सही बात है ना। हिंदू, मुस्लिम, सिख, ईसाई आपस में है भाई भाई, तो एक है, इसलिए सबको ही हम लोग सेफ है।
सर बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका। सुप्रिया भट्टाचार्य, General Secretary, spokesperson of the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, for joining us on this broadcast. Thank you very much. Now I want to go back to Yashwant Deshmukh and Amitabh Tiwari, and there are 3 data sets which break down the different regions of Jharkhand and give you a sense of how tight the battle is going to be. We're looking at recent data for reference to give you a breakup of how these alliances are stacked. Now when it comes to seats, if I convert the Lok Sabha leads into assembly segments, the India Alliance led in 10 of the 18 seats in Santhal Pargana. The NDA had 8. In the 25 seats of North Chota Nagpur, the NDA dominated with 24. In South Chota Nagpur, the India Alliance did really well, 11. In Kolhan, this is, remember, Lok Sabha, 8 for the NDA, 6 for the India Alliance. In Palamu, the NDA did really well with 8 versus just 1. So Amitabh Tiwari, broadly, the BJP will hope to score big in North Chota Nagpur, Palamu, which are their base areas, and do better in Kolhan and in South Chota Nagpur, where the India Alliance did better in the Lok Sabha elections. That's really how this breaks up region-wise.
Yeah, essentially the North Chota Nagpur has been a stronghold of the BJP because it is the hub of outsiders, let's say. The Biharis reside here, and out of these 25 seats, there is not a single ST reserved seat. That's why you see the BJP doing well here. What we are also seeing is that because of the inclusion of Champai Soren, it is doing better in Kolhan than the India bloc. However, South Chota Nagpur, which again houses Ranchi and is a hub of ST reserve seats, and Santhal Pargana is where it was lacking. In Palamu, again, because it shares borders with Bihar, it again has been doing fairly well because RJD is there, the competitor from the India bloc side. However, these are Lok Sabha estimates. When elections become highly localized seat by seat like Maharashtra, it is a similar case like Maharashtra because you have 15 candidates per seat. Both the alliances have grown in strength compared to 2019. Ajsu factor will play a role in Kolhan and South Chota Nagpur, where there is a bit of a Kurmi population. However, you also have a new party, Jairam Mahato, who is emerging as a new Kurmi leader. His party damaged India bloc in 3 Lok Sabha seats in 2024 elections because they split the opposition vote. However, if they do well here, theoretically they could split the opposition vote or the anti-JMM bloc. So we don't know how this bullet will fire.
I want to look at the same regions now when we break this up as per votes. You saw seats earlier. I'll now show you votes. In Santhal Pargana, the BJP had 36% of the votes, the India Alliance about 40% of the votes. In Chota Nagpur, the BJP had 32%, the JMM 31%, others 37%. Chota Nagpur, BJP had 37%, South 38% for the JMM and the Congress and the RJD. In Kolhan, 29% for the BJP versus 49%. These are from the last assembly elections. In Palamu, 37% for the BJP and 30% for the JMM Congress RJD. Broadly, Yashwant Deshmukh, if one looks at this data, the BJP has to break into the JMM Congress domination in Kolhan, which is where they think Champai Soren can have a role to play. The BJP has to continue to do well in South Chota Nagpur, and the BJP has to ensure that there isn't a complete tribal consolidation against the BJP. Like they ensured that in Haryana there wasn't a Dalit consolidation against the BJP, they have to ensure that there isn't a complete tribal consolidation against the BJP in Jharkhand. Amitabh. Yashwant.
Rahul, I think one thing, a couple of things we have to take it upfront, you know. Like, for example, sending Hemant Soren to jail has backfired. And we could see even in the Lok Sabha elections, all the 5 tribal belt Lok Sabha seats were swept by the opposition alliance candidates. Even from these numbers, you can very well sense that be it Santhal Pargana, be it Kolhan, or be it South Chota Nagpur, I mean, basically the tribal area belt, that is where Hemant Soren has held. And he may be facing a significant anti-incumbency in rest of the regions. But I mean, credit where due, I think he has come across as one of those next generation leaders within the opposition alliance who has taken his father's legacy to the next level, you know, and that's a big thing because Shibu Soren, by and large, is a kind of he's a legendary legend in himself as far as the tribal leadership is considered. But Hemant Soren taking his father's legacy to next level itself is a big achievement.
Well, he now is starting to look a bit like Shibu Soren as well. So he has that whole dadi and that kind of look, which is what was so typical to Shibu Soren.
Baba wala look, उन्होंने दशम गुरु का ले लिया है एक तरह से. He is also targeting that. Somehow I believe that BJP may have a better advantage in terms of momentum of anti-incumbency. I understand that. I am still not convinced for them not fully going with the face of Babulal Marandi. Babulal Marandi, by and large, for the last 20-25 years, has been the most popular face in Jharkhand, even when he was outside the BJP. So something tells me that, I don't know, there must be some strategy to their combined leadership. But as Amitabh would also probably underline you, that rest of the BJP leaders, leadership, barring the newly brought in Champai Soren, have been more of a liability rather than an asset to the BJP's game plan, apart from the Babulal Marandi.
Okay, Amitabh Tiwari, Yashwant Deshmukh for joining us. Thank you very much. Do watch our coverage all through the day on the day of polling from Jharkhand, and then our coverage from the battlefield of Maharashtra continues as well. Thank you, Amitabh. Thanks, Yashwant. I'm slipping into a break. Coming up on the other side, Yogi Adityanath versus Mallikarjun Kharge. War of words over batenge to katenge escalates. Details on the other side.
By Cola makes you wish everything was as vibrant.
आ तो गए, जाओगे कैसे?
हेलो, मैं आ रहा हूँ, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा। सिक्योरिटी, भाग गए, पकड़ो उनको। हेलो, बोला था ना, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा।
एक हिंट तो देते?
हिंट?
बड़े आराम से।
Pure Wash Electronic Seat by Kohler. Wish everything was this intelligent.
एक दोस्त है जिससे बात किए बिना हम रह नहीं सकते, बातें घंटों की हों या कुछ सेकंड्स की। ये दोस्त हमेशा हमारी बात सुनता है, क्योंकि हमारा सबसे अच्छा दोस्त भगवान ही तो है। मंगलदीप, दिल से करो बात भगवान के साथ।
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Sveda by Cola. Wish everything cared for your skin.
नया फोन?
बिल्कुल मेरे जैसा।
तेरा ही फोन है। टीम बस में भूल आया था तू। क्रिकेट के बाद का प्लान ऐसे मत भूल जाना भाई।
क्रिकेट के बाद का प्लान मतलब पाजी?
मतलब रिटायरमेंट का प्लान।
इस जनरेशन ने तो उस बारे में सोचा भी नहीं होगा।
नहीं भाई पहले मैच से ही सोचा है, इसलिए तो वो कर रखा है।
वो मतलब क्या?
वही जो सब लोग सही है करते रहते हैं।
म्यूचुअल फंड्स में SIP।
म्यूचुअल फंड्स में SIP। अगर ऐसे भूल भी जाओ ना तो भी रिटायरमेंट का प्लान बैकग्राउंड में चलते रहना चाहिए, ताकि आगे की लाइफ सेट रहे।
सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
Colors by Cola makes you wish everything was as vibrant.
ज़माने से हटकर बेबाक है मेरा सिग्नेचर फाइनेस्ट cardamom seeds, a premium product from Dilbar Group.
Pure Wash Electronic Seat by Kohler. Wish everything was this intelligent.
रंगीला रे with Motorola's incredible range of smartphones.
Hello, Moto.
The Maharashtra poll campaign is heating up, and it is the Batenge to Katenge slogan that's become the big flashpoint. A day after Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge accused Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister of speaking like a terrorist, Yogi Adityanath hit back. Here's how the war of words is playing out.
State of war Maharashtra is booming, and it's BJP's Batenge Katenge slogan that has become the big flashpoint. At the center of this showdown are Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge and UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath.
अरे मुख में राम और बगल में छुरी कितने दिन चलाएंगे? मैंने उसी लिए परसों बम्बई में मीटिंग हुई थी तो कहा भाई एक काम करो, दो नहीं कर सकते आप, क्योंकि जो साधु संत होता है वो सबके लिए होता है, बाटो काटो में क्यों जा रहे हैं?
खड़गे जी, मैं एक योगी हूँ और एक योगी के लिए देश पहले होता है, राजनीतिक स्वार्थ बाद में। यही अंतर है एक योगी में और आप में कि मेरे लिए देश पहले है, क्योंकि मेरे नेता मोदी जी ने हमें यही बताया।
Campaigning in Chandrapur, Maharashtra, Prime Minister Modi came down heavily on the Congress, reiterating that the party is trying to divide castes.
हमें एकजुट रहना है और इसलिए मेरा तो आपसे एक ही आग्रह है, हम एक रहेंगे तो सेफ रहेंगे। आपकी एकता टूट जाए, ये कांग्रेस का खतरनाक खेल है।
The Prime Minister's "एक हैं तो safe है" war cry has been countered by the Congress chief.
बाटो काटो में क्यों जा रहे हैं? हाँ? इधर लोगों को बोलते हैं बटेंगे तो कटेंगे, ये साधु का काम है। हम तो, हमारा स्लोगन एक ही है, हम डरेंगे तो मरेंगे, इसीलिए हम डरने वाले नहीं हैं।
From caste to name calling, the political discourse in Maharashtra is fully polarized. Vote jihad to dharma yudh, dog to razakars. The war of words is escalating.
अरे औरंगजेब तो आक्रमणकारी था, उसने हम पर आक्रमण किया था, इसलिए सुन ले हुए सी, कुत्ता भी ना पेशाब करेगा औरंगजेब की पहचान पर। अब तो तिरंगा लहराएंगे पूरे पाकिस्तान पर।
मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ, क्या अकोला जिले के ओबीसी के लोग आप बीजेपी को वोट करोगे जो तुमको कुत्ता बोलते हैं? नहीं। आप बीजेपी को कुत्ता बनाने का समय आ गया है, बीजेपी को कुत्ता बनाने का समय आ गया है।
Will the voters buy this rhetoric? We will know on 23rd of November. Bureau Report, India Today.
This is where I wrap up the news track tonight. For your time and your trust, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Till then, from all of us here, goodbye, good night.
जाओगी कैसे?
हेलो, मैं आ रहा हूँ, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा।
सिक्योरिटी, भाग गए, पकड़ो उनको। हेलो,
बोला था ना, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा।
एक हिंट तो देते।
हिंट?
बड़े आराम से।
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Hi, I am AI anchor Sana, bringing the top headlines for you, presented by Motorola.
PM Modi attacks MVA alliance in Maharashtra, says Aghadi biggest player of corruption. Petition in High Court against NCP leader Nawab Malik, demand to cancel candidature. Politics heats up over Uddhav's bag checking. Sharad Pawar says government is targeting opponents.
इन कांग्रेस वालों को, उनके साथियों को ये बात पच नहीं रही है और इसलिए कांग्रेस और उसके साथी कश्मीर में फिर से धारा 370 वापस लाकर के लागू करने का प्रस्ताव सदन में लाए हैं, सदन में पास करवा रहे हैं। जरा कांग्रेस वालों को पूछिए, उनके साथियों को पूछिए कि जो धारा 370 खत्म हो गई, जिस जम्मू कश्मीर में भारत का संविधान पैर नहीं रख सकता था, उस जम्मू कश्मीर में भारत का संविधान पहुंचा। क्या आप फिर से इसको रोक लोगे? ये लोग वो काम कर रहे हैं जो काम पाकिस्तान चाहता है।
When I first went on the Bharat Chodo Yatra, I was a bit surprised because it was a political walk to give a message that everybody should stand together, everybody should be united, everybody should respect each other. Beginning of the yatra already I noticed that I was hugging people, people were kissing me, I was saying I love you, they were saying we love you. It is because the people of Wayanad gave me so much love and affection that my entire politics changed. The only weapon to actually counter hatred, anger is love and affection. I'm already your unofficial member of parliament, so I don't need to stand as the official member of parliament. I was member of parliament of Wayanad for 5 years. What did I get from the people of Wayanad? Whenever I come here, naturally I feel happy.
जाओगी कैसे?
हेलो, मैं आ रहा हूँ, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा। सिक्योरिटी, भाग गए, पकड़ो उनको। हेलो, बोला था ना, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा।
एक हिंट तो देते।
हिंट?
बड़े आराम से।
The battleground in Maharashtra is heating up with just days to go for polling. Mumbai's on Monday woke up to a front page splash in all major newspapers. BJP's advertisement featuring "Ek hai to safe hai" slogan. The BJP ad prominently displayed the logos of its Mahayuti alliances, Shiv Sena and NCP, highlighting a unified front in a fiercely competitive election. The slogan itself was pitched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi at rallies in Maharashtra and Jharkhand. The BJP is trying to consolidate Hindu votes after suffering a setback in the Lok Sabha poll in Maharashtra.
आपको याद रखना है, एक है तो सेफ है, एक है तो एक है तो एक है तो एक है तो हमें एकजुट रहकर कांग्रेस के खतरनाक खेल को नाकाम करना है। हम एक रहेंगे तो सेफ रहेंगे।
Prime Minister Modi on Monday launched a series of sharp attacks, accusing the opposition of trying to divide society for vote. The Congress hit back at Prime Minister Modi.
एक रहोगे तो सेफ रहोगे, ये भी मतलब वही है। तो कहने का मतलब ये जिस प्रकार की राजनीति चल रही है उसको हमें समझना पड़ेगा, उन ढंग से फैसला करना पड़ेगा। ये मेरी अपील है आपके माध्यम से आम।
Meanwhile, AIMIM leader Asaduddin Owaisi and BJP's Devendra Fadnavis clashed over the Deputy Chief Minister's recent vote jihad remarks. Fadnavis escalated the attacks, accusing Owaisi of being a descendant of Razakars, the Nizam supporters who unleashed terror on Hindus in Hyderabad after independence.
जिन्होंने हमारी महिलाओं की अस्मत को लूटने का प्रयास किया, हमारे परिवारों को तहस नहस किया, ये उनके वारिस है। ये किस मुंह से हमसे बात करेंगे?
The election campaign in Maharashtra is now being fought on the lines of religion and caste. Bureau Report, India Today.
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 33 and minimum 20 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 31 and minimum 25 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 30 and minimum 21 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 25 and minimum 20 degrees. Chennai, maximum 30 and minimum 25 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 29 and minimum 19 degrees.
Presented by एक हिंट तो देते, हिंट बड़े आराम से। Co-presented by Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat. Co-presented by आपका जॉय, भारत का जॉय, जॉय ई-बाइक, Mahindra Electric Origin SUVs.
कोल्हापूर मध्ये अजून दम आहे। बम्पर ड्रॉ, मेरे को 1 करोड़, कौन बनेगा करोड़पति? तो सोलापुर is losing out to Amritsar. As we say in Marathi, झणझणीत. काय सोलापूर में क्या बदला है? आपले नेते शिवाजी महाराजांच्या आदर्शावर चालतात की नाही? I am back home. Namaskar, hello and welcome to Maharashtra Maza, a special show where in the build-up to the big election of 2024, the battle for Maharashtra, we've been crisscrossing this state, traveling from one town to the other. Today we are in Kolhapur, in the southern western part of Maharashtra. Kolhapur, a city rich and redolent in history and culture above all else. Kolhapur, the land of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj, a land which believes in progressive social values above all else. But recent times, as politics in Maharashtra has shown during this election campaign as well, politics has become bitterly contested and questions are being raised over whether politicians simply played lip service to the great legacy of Chhatrapati Shivaji and Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj. I've been traveling through Kolhapur and I spoke to some voices in the street. Listen in to what they had to say. You can't come to Kolhapur and not visit a Kolhapuri chappal shop. कशे आहात? चप्पल आहे की नाही माझ्यासाठी? साईज माझा आहे 10. काळ्या रंगाची आहे आणि दुसरी नाही हे आहे या रंगाची. व्हेरी नाईस. आय एम लुकिंग ओके. We are in Kolhapur, a city in Maharashtra that has always prided itself on the progressive traditions of the great Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Shahu Maharaj legacy. But in recent times, Kolhapur, like many other parts of Maharashtra, has been tangled in sharp religious and caste divisions, and the political fractures at times have been out in the open. Which is why I thought I would ask the people of Kolhapur the big question. Do the politicians of today simply pay lip service to the legacy of the great Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj? Come with me. कैसे आज सगळे ये बताइए, शिवाजी महाराज का जो आदर्श है, आदर्शवादी नेता समझे जाते हैं, क्या आपको लगता है कि आज के नेता उस आदर्श पे रह रहे हैं कि नहीं महाराष्ट्र में?
नहीं, खाली राजनीति कर रहे हैं।
इसी कोल्हापुर में पिछले साल मुझे लगता है एक सोशल मीडिया पोस्ट पे दंगे भी हुए थे। हाँ? तो क्या है, कहाँ है हिंद? शिवाजी महाराज तो, छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज हमेशा हिंदू मुस्लिम एकता की बात करते थे। तो क्या हुआ?
सभी धर्म के लोगों के साथ थे शिवाजी।
तो फिर अभी क्या हुआ?
डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, हिंदू मुसलमान में डिवाइड,
हिंदू मुस्लिम में डिवाइड है,
डिवाइडेशन का माहौल बना रहे हैं। पहले कोल्हापुर का ऐसे नहीं था नाम, कभी राजनीति इधर जातिवादी ऐसे कभी नहीं था,
पॉलिटिशियन ही चल रहा है।
नाही पण इथे मराठा बनाम ओबीसी, हिंदू बनाम मुस्लिम हे सुरू झालंय.
हा, ते नव्हतं कधी तिथं,
ते नव्हतं कधी, आता सुरू झालंय.
आता सुरू ह्या 5-6 वर्षात चेंजेस झाले थोडं.
छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांचे जे एका प्रमाणाने त्यांचे आदर्श होते, आजचे नेता ते पालन करतात की नाही?
अजिबात नाही.
हा, अजिबात नाही,
अजिबात नाही. काय पालन करतात? छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांचे विचार वेगळे आणि आता नेत्यांचे विचार वेगळे. आता नेता पैसे टाकले तरच मतदान करतोय माणूस. त्या पैशाचा जीवावर सगळा खेळ चाललाय, तर कशाला उभा राहायचं मग?
ते तुमच्या वोट पैशाहून वोट घेतात, तुमच्या समोर पैसे टाकतात.
म्हणजे काय, आता लाडकी बहीण आणली, हे पैशाचं राजकारण आहे की?
हे आजचे नेते छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांचं फक्त नाव घेतात की त्यांच्या आदर्शावर काम करतात?
काही जण आदर्शावर काम करणारे आहेत, काही जण नुसते नाव घेणारे आहेत, अशा दोन्ही प्रकारचे आहेत.
हा, कोण आदर्शावर काम करतात की फक्त पैशांची राजकारण आहे?
पैशांचं तर आहेच, राजकारण पैशांचं तर आहेच. हे काय 100% न 1,01% आहे. पण कसं आहे माहिती काय, काही आहेत थोडे बोटावर मोजणे इतके.
नाही, पण महाराजांच्या टाइम मध्ये हिंदू मुस्लिम सगळं एकत्र होते, आता ते पण नाही होत आहे.
नाहीच होत आहे ते. तेच कुठंतरी थोडा एका दुसरा असतो आणि बाकीचे सगळे असेच आहेत.
जनसेवा करतात की नाही हे नेते?
थोडी थोडकी म्हणजे आपलं निवडणूक आली की मग करायला बघायचं काहीतरी, अशा सूचना वगैरे द्यायच्या.
आता बघा ना, लाडकी बहीण योजना आणली आहे,
कुठपर्यंत चालती ती ते पण बघू ना.
अच्छा, तुम्हाला वाटतं फक्त इलेक्शन साठी केली आहे?
त्यासाठीच केलंय, बाकी काही नाही.
नाव घेतात शिवाजी महाराज,
फक्त पुतळे बांधतात
आणि आपलं बघतात सगळे आपल्या बघतात आणि जनता सगळे गोरगरीब गावते.
जनसेवाचा काय आहे की नाही भाव त्यांच्यात?
नाही.
लाडकी बहीणचा तुम्हाला फायदा झाला की नाही? तुम्हाला 7,500 रुपये मिळाले
की
मग
त्याच्यात तिप्पटीनं महागाई वाढली की होते. 7,000 राहते कुठं, आपलं राहत नाही ना. ते
या हातानं घ्यायचं आणि त्या हातानं द्यायचं नाही. आम्हाला पैसे दिले असतं तर चाललं असतं, खरं सस्ताई करायची होती.
हे आपले नेते शिवाजी महाराजांच्या आदर्शावर चालतात की नाही? काय काम करतात? जनसेवा करतात की नाही? की नाही महाराष्ट्र की स्वतः स्वार्थासाठी करतात?
स्वार्थासाठी नाही, केली आहे त्यांनी.
व्हेरी गुड. प्रशांत मला सांगा की जेवढे नेते आहेत शिवाजी महाराजांचं नाव घेतात, पण खरी गोष्ट काय आहे कोल्हापूरमध्ये?
छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांचं नाव घेऊन समाजकारण आणि समाजासाठी काम करता येतं, पण आत्ताची राजनीती पाहिली तर स्वतःच्या स्वार्थासाठी जे काय करायचं आहे ते सगळं सुरू असते.
म्हणजे खुर्चीसाठी
सरळ आहे, खुर्चीसाठीच सगळं चाललेलं आहे. 1 तास 2 तास नव्हे तर 24 तास ते चाललेलंच आहे. फक्त महाराजांचा आदर्श घेऊन आम्ही जनतेसाठी करतोय हे प्रेझेंटेशन आहे, पण जनतेला असं वाटणं हे फार महत्वाचं आहे.
काय लॉटरी है का? मेरी लॉटरी कब लगेगी लाइफ में बॉस? बम्पर ड्रॉ, मेरे को 1 करोड़, कौन बनेगा करोड़पती? आजचे जे राजकारणी आहेत ते छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांच्या आदर्शावर चालतात की नाही, की स्वार्थाची राजनीती झाली आहे?
नाही, सध्या तरी जरा जे चित्र आहे सगळीकडे सगळ्याच पक्षात ते जरा स्वार्थाचं वाटतंय.
स्वार्थाचं
म्हणजे आपापल्या पद्धतीनं ते आपण म्हणतो नाही म्हणजे सवडशास्त्र.
छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांचा आदर्श हे आजचे नेते पाळतात की नाही?
फक्त मतदानापुरतं नाव घ्यायचं शिवाजी महाराज शाहू महाराजांचं,
फक्त मतदानसाठी, आणि पुतळे बांधायचे.
ह्याची निगा चांगली, ती स्थानिक लोक चांगली करतात.
हा, मग स्थानिक लोक चांगली आहेत, तुमचे स्थानिक नेता चांगले आहेत?
स्थानिक लोक पूजा चांगली करतात.
अच्छा,
येते फक्त मतदानापुरते,
आणि नाहीतर
तुम्ही काय फक्त रात गई बात गई.
सर्वांना स्वार्थासाठी केलं,
सगळं केलं, जे केलं पिढ्या आपली पिढ्या टिकावी.
पण एका फॅमिलीचे लोक असतात, एक फॅमिली काँग्रेस बरोबर असते, दुसरी शिवसेने बरोबर, तिसरी भाजप बरोबर.
राजकारणाने समाजकारणात बघितली तर ती जातीवंत नाहीतच. त्याला जात ठरवूया, राजकारण ह्याला एक काहीतरी जात ठेवूया आता, कारण जातीवर राजकारण करतात.
म्हणजे जातीवर राजकारण होत आहे, धर्मवर होत आहे,
माणुसकीत राजकारण नाहीच.
धर्मवर पण होत आहे, हिंदू
जातीवरच राजकारण चालू आहे.
पण कुठला तरी पक्ष असेल जे नाही करत आहे, की सगळे तसेच आहे?
एक विषय असा घ्या, कुठला तरी सांदी कोपऱ्यातला विषय घ्या, तिथं पैशाचा वाटप झालाय. रात्रीचं जे पैशाचं वाटप आहे तिथं जाणं आणि तिथं बघणं,
म्हणजे वोटसाठी पैसे,
निवळ पैसे, वोटसाठी
पैशाची राजनीती चालते.
झिरो आहे, फक्त ही लोकशाही नावाची आहे.
लोकशाही नावाची आहे,
यात काही अर्थ नाही.
हे तर
शिवाजी महाराजांचं नाव ज्यांना घ्यायचं आहे त्यातला एक तरी गुण जवळ पाहिजे, एक तरी गुण जवळ पाहिजे. ज्याच्याजवळ गुण शिवाजी महाराजांचं नाही त्याला राजकारणात अजिबात थारा देता कामा नये.
ये मुझे बताइए, कोई भी नेता जो है महायुति से या महाविकास आघाड़ी शिवाजी महाराज के, छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज के आदर्श पे चलते हैं कि नहीं?
महाराज के आदर्श पे क्या चलते हैं क्या? ये
नहीं,
एक का भी नहीं है. छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज का नाम लेने का भी लायकी नहीं है
किसी भी नेता का, किसी भी पार्टी से,
किसी भी पार्टी. वो किधर
वो रस्ते कसे आहेत? खड्डे आहेत का जास्त?
खड्डे जास्त आहेत, रस्ता कमी आहे.
चला, व्हेरी गुड. So let's raise the big questions now here in Kolhapur. बड़े सवाल आपके सामने रखते हैं. Have Maharashtra's politicians betrayed Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj's legacy? क्या उनके विरासत से धोखा किया गया है? Is Chhatrapati Shivaji and Shahu Maharaj invoked only as a token symbol now? Are Shivaji's and Shahu Maharaj's life and mission relevant anymore? आज की राजनीति में कोई जगह है शिवाजी महाराज और शाहू महाराज के आदर्शों की? That's the question we are posing on our face-off. Two bright young men joining me here in Kolhapur. Kunal Tilak is the BJP spokesperson. Please give him a very big hand. And Pushparaj Deshpande is the Congress spokesperson. Bhajap बनाम Congress. But I will ask both of you the same question at the start. कोल्हापुर में है, यहाँ बड़े बड़े बातें होती है शिवाजी महाराज और शाहू महाराज की, बट इजंट द रियलिटी दैट यू आर बिट्रेइंग इट? एक तरफ ये आरोप होता है खोखे की राजनीति, दूसरी तरफ आरोप होता है कि कहीं ना कहीं लेन देन की राजनीति होती है. शिवाजी महाराज को खोखे की राजनीति का महाराष्ट्र नहीं देखना था, शाहू महाराज को खोखे की राजनीति का महाराष्ट्र नहीं देखना था. कुणाल तिलक प्लीज आंसर, क्योंकि आप पर ही आरोप लगता है कि भाजपा पार्टियों को तोड़ने में लगी है, खोखे की राजनीति कर रही है. True or not? True or not?
See, let me first clarify that whether this question is about the legacy of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj or the question that you just posed right now.
The question is because do you think Shivaji Maharaj would accept लेन देन की राजनीति? जनता बताए क्या शिवाजी महाराज कभी इस तरह की राजनीति मानते? नहीं. So now you answer the question.
Now let me get straight to the point.
Yes.
The capital of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's Swarajya Fort Raigad was calling out for help for years and years and years on. It was Devendra Fadnavis who, when he became the CM in 2014, sanctioned 3,600 crore for the restoration of the Raigad fort, and he set up a committee where Chhatrapati Yuvraj Sambhaji Raje was the head of the committee, and Devendra Fadnavis himself has gone on record and spoken about the great things that the committee did. And now, if you see the capital, I am starting from the capital, the Raigad fort, and now if you see the restoration is done in such a way which will always live long in for the legacy, for the upliftment of the legacy of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
Is Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's legacy about forts, about statues, पुतले बांधना है या एक तरह से जनता के लिए कुछ काम करना है?
जनता के लिए काम कर रहे हैं. We are working towards the people. We are working towards the upliftment of the poor, for the youth, for the women, for the farmers. युवा कल्याण, शेतकरी कल्याण, महिला कल्याण, और उससे ही ज्यादा, उससे ही आगे बढ़कर हर एक महिला को लाड़की बहन योजना से जो मान सम्मान दिया है, उसके वजह से जो भी काम कर रहे हैं महायुति की सरकार,
ये मान सम्मान आपको चुनाव के पहले ही याद आता है. 3 महीने चुनाव के पहले आपको लाड़की बहन की याद आ गई. But let me ask this.
Did anybody before get this yojana in Maharashtra?
Okay,
why are people complaining when we have
Pushparaj Deshpande respond to that?
So much respect.
Pushparaj Deshpande,
7,500 rupees came into women's accounts directly by direct benefit transfer.
Okay, let him respond. Pushparaj Deshpande, the argument being made is that according to the BJP and the government, they are taking forward Shivaji's legacy, Chhatrapati Shivaji's legacy. One of them is Mahila Kalyan, Ladli Bahin. They are talking about restoration of forts, Raigad fort being restored. They are the party जो Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj का सम्मान करती है. Your response?
Rajiv ji, thank you for having me on your show. And I want to begin by first answering what you said, that is Chhatrapati Shivaji's legacy even relevant today? Just very quickly, I want to say that anyone who believes in Chhatrapati Shivaji's values, Sadbhavna, equity, fraternity, liberty, secularism, all of these values that Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Mahatma Phule, Rajashri Shahu Maharaj, and that are enshrined in our constitution, anyone who protects them and values them and furthers them is a true believer, a true legacy, a true heir of Chhatrapati Shivaji's values. That is my first thing. They are very relevant today. And I don't want our audiences here very smart enough. They know which parties, MPs said that they want to amend the constitution. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I want to first talk about this. Our Tilakji said that they want to talk about women empowerment. They are touting the Ladki Behan Yojana. Firstly, the Ladki Behan Yojana is a copy-paste scheme. We actually started this in Karnataka, in Telangana and Himachal Pradesh, the Guru Lakshmi scheme. And we are the ones who actually said 1,500 rupees per month. They have then copy-pasted it. That's perfectly their prerogative. Let me finish. I didn't interrupt you. Please let me finish. That's the first thing. The second thing is, they talk about women empowerment. You know for a fact that Chhatrapati Shivaji, during his tenure, constantly exhorted his armies to don't attack or target the wives and children of enemies. He always said this. There are countless examples. I can cite a number of them. The fact of the matter is, in the last 3 years, the wives and children of sitting leaders have been targeted just so that the leaders have to defect. You yourself have said this.
Give me an example. No, don't make say.
I want to say this. I'm giving you.
You are saying that people are being.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. You know what happened in Nanded? In Kolhapur, इकडची जनता खूप smart आहे. त्यांना माहित आहे. Here, there is a leader in our Kolhapur district who has never lost an election. suddenly he was forced to defect. I don't want to take names. That's not our pratha. But the fact of the matter is that leader was coerced to defect into another party simply because of the agency pressures put on his wife. The same thing you said in your own book, if I'm not mistaken, which Chhagan Bhujbanji said. He said that Ajit Pawarji was forced to defect for a certain reason. The same thing happened in Nanded. That's the first thing. The second thing is, is threatening to take pictures of women without their consent, posting them, and then saying that we will target them. त्यांची बंदोबस्त करतो, त्यांची व्यवस्था करतो. Is that something that Shivaji Maharaj said? That's the second point. One second. Third thing. And the third thing, under Maharashtra government, in the last 3 years, Maharashtra has become #1 in eve-teasing and stalking in the country. This is NCRB data. They can check it. The third highest in rape cases, second highest in assault. This is a state where we had Jijabai, this is a state we had Rani Tarabai and Savitrabai Phule. Is this their women empowerment that they're talking about? They really don't have any locus standard to talk about women empowerment.
You know, I don't think any of you should talk about Jijabai and Savitri Phule. They alag level che lok hoti.
Of course.
And
we all have to aspire to live up to their ideals.
You know, the point though is that there is a feeling in Kolhapur and across Maharashtra that politics now has become about len-den. Kissa kursi ka. Shivaji Maharaj would fight for Swaraj. You are fighting for kursi. Kisko satta milegi? That is all that it is. Satta ke aap bhogi ban gaye hain in Maharashtra. One day you will be in one party, one day you will be in the next party. How do you respond to that? And the charge that the BJP is accused of breaking the other party. BJP बाकी पार्टियों को तोड़ने में लगी. पहले शिवसेना, फिर NCP.
See, let me get to the point that it was a coalition. The Mahayuti has been formed on ideological grounds. Let me very first clarify that. And
what is the ideology?
See, the ideology is about the development of Maharashtra, Vikasit Maharashtra, the Hindutva ideology, which we have been promoting, which every party in our Mahayuti, all the Sayogi parties that they are together, everybody is working towards the Vikasit Maharashtra agenda. Everybody is working towards the Vikasit Maharashtra agenda.
Kolhapur ke raste achhe kar dijiye if you want a Viksit Maharashtra.
Rajiv ji,
commission hota hai.
कांग्रेस के गवर्नमेंट में सब रास्ते अच्छे थे क्या?
ये बड़ी नहीं एक मिनट
राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस ने इतने साल सत्ता में थे, राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस पक्ष इतने साल सत्ता में था, कांग्रेस पक्ष इतने साल सत्ता में था. Why did it take 40 years for Sharad Pawar to go to Raigad Fort?
Okay, Pushparaj Deshpande, you must answer that. एक minute. Pushparaj Deshpande, fact is, maximum rule over Maharashtra has been of the Congress. If there has been lack of development, you must also take responsibility. You are only looking at what has happened in the last few years. What about the 70 years, much of which were ruled by you? You are today laughing at Kunal when I asked him about Vichardhara. आपकी क्या विचारधारा है? कल तक तो शिवसेना आपके लिए हिंदुत्ववादी पार्टी थी. आज आप शिवसेना के गले लगा के कहते हैं सेक्युलर पार्टी है. I mean, come on. All of you are guilty. आप लोग सब जनता को एक तरह से मूर्ख समझते हैं.
May I respond to this very quickly?
Please do.
Two things. भाजपाचा भगवा आणि शिवाजी महाराजचा भगवा वेगळं गोष्ट आहे.
They are different.
They are different.
What is different?
We believe in Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. We are the true inheritors of Hinduism. Hindu dharma does not talk about काटेंगे बांटेंगे मंगलसूत्र छीन लेंगे भैंस छीन लेंगे औरतें छीन लेंगे. Which Hindu dharma talks about this? I'm sorry. I'm a true Hindu. I'm a believing Hindu. Everyone here, many of these people here are practicing Hindus. Our Hinduism doesn't give us permission. They misuse Hinduism for their own partisan ends. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, when you talked about the roads, I want to talk about the fact that in the last 3 to 4 years, the Mahayuti government has not allowed elections to 27 municipal corporations. They have misappropriated 1.12 lakh crores from 27 municipal corporations. Where is this money going? This is going for their PR and propaganda. That's it. The roads, the sewage, the garbage, petty corruption has increased. Why is this happening? This is happening because this Mahayuti government is a bloody leaking government. They are misusing our money, our taxpayer money for their own petty propaganda. That's it. And you talked about Swarajya. Rajdipji, 1 second. You talked about Swarajya. I really want to talk about Swarajya. Shivaji Maharaj firmly believed in Swarajya. Swarajya also means economic self-sufficiency. In the last 3 years, we have lost 1.36 lakh crores of projects. Just 4 projects. Tata Airbus project, we lost 22,000 crores. Vedanta Foxconn project, we lost 1.36 lakh crores. The bulk drug park project, we lost 1,900 crores. And the medical device park lost 450 crores. These would have developed jobs for 2 lakh jobs they would have developed from Maharashtra. Many young people sitting here who are skilled, educated, would have got those jobs. Why have they taken them away to Gujarat?
No, the fact is that 52%, the government claimed, the Maharashtra government claims 52% of total FDI in the last 1 year has come to Maharashtra.
Is it helping us? It is helping it is helping their crony capitalists. It's not helping the Aam Janta. तुमच्याकडे आलेत का पैसे? आलेत का बघा विचारा त्यांना.
You know,
Kunal,
this point is again being raised. You see, this is the Maharashtrian Asmita coming out. That why are projects that were meant for Maharashtra? Vedanta Foxconn was originally supposed to come for Maharashtra. In the assembly it was announced. Why did it go to Gujarat? What is it about Gujarat that Maharashtra cannot have? Why not a project come from Maharashtra?
Let me get to the question that I have to him. Is he saying that FDI does not directly correlate to people getting employment, people getting money, people getting jobs, people getting salaries, people getting good housing, people getting good welfare schemes? Does it not equate to that? Doesn't FDI mean that companies are coming to Maharashtra, they are investing, they are setting up companies, they are setting up factories, industries, they are getting people to go.
Why have major projects, why have a few major projects left Maharashtra for Gujarat? Projects that were meant for Maharashtra, that were announced in the state assembly.
It is a set narrative that is being propagated by the opposition that certain projects have gone to Gujarat. But at the same time, multinational companies, the top companies, Google, Microsoft, Hyundai, they have come to Maharashtra as well in Pune district. He only knows about Kolhapur district. They have come to Pune district as well from where I come from. Google has just set up a big office in Pune. Microsoft has bought acres and acres of land in Pune. Hyundai has set up a big manufacturing setup in Pune. Heavy industry setup in Pune.
Okay, one minute. Pune is also part of Maharashtra. Pune पण महाराष्ट्राचा भाग आहे आणि कोल्हापूर पण आहे. Okay, but Pushparaj, the question that will be, the question that will be asked, and you didn't answer that. You are targeting the BJP-led government or the Shiv Sena-led government of Eknath Shinde for what may or may not have been done over the last couple of years. You all also had a government here with Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray and Sharad Pawar for the first 2.5 years of this regime. Most of the last 70 years, the Congress has been in power. How can you not take some responsibility, accountability? You see, this whole खोखे की सरकार, this लेन देन की राजनीति, Congress अपने आप को बोल रही है हम संत हैं, बाकी सब गलत है. That also won't work, na? Every party has to take responsibility for the decline of Maharashtra in some way. Maharashtra has declined in some serious manner, and you all both need to take some responsibility. Will the Congress not take responsibility?
Thank you for raising that question. I genuinely feel that India has developed in the last 60 years, and the 75 years now. To make this assertion that India did not develop in the last 70 years is a deep insult to the people of India. Because it's not like the Congress government alone and other governments were working alone. Every individual, every grandfather, father, mother, aunt has contributed to the development of this nation. And I'll give you some stats. I was quickly looking at this. In 1950, 1 in 3 Indians was poor, crippling poverty. Our GDP was 2.3%. In 2014, it was 7.4%. In schools, we had 7.4 thousand schools, 7.4 thousand across the country in 1950. Today, 1914, we had 3.9 lakh schools. In literacy, we were 18.3%. At 2014, we were 17.4%. Electricity, we had 1362 megawatts. In 2014, we had 2.33 lakh megawatts. Roads, they keep talking about roads. In 1950, we had 4 lakh kilometers of roads. In 2014, we had 46 lakh kilometers of road. Who did this development? I say आसमान से टपक पड़ रहा था क्या? Every individual here, every government, every Indian citizen contributed to the development of this nation. And for them to say कि 70 साल में कुछ हुआ नहीं है, they're just insulting it. Like, don't interrupt me. I did not interrupt you.
Quickly finish.
That is the first thing. And the second thing that you were talking about, that he didn't answer the question. The original question, the fact of the matter is that they have misappropriated funds. And this is the issue. Is some Shah sitting in Mumbai and Gujarat going to dictate what will happen in Tarabai Park and Nagala Park and Satara, in Sadar Bazaar and Kagal and Karveer? That is what they are doing.
Can I
you
ask
are not giving us the right to govern ourselves. Is this the Shivaji Maharaj Swaraj?
I'm going to ask both of you one last question. Shivaji Maharaj and Shahu Maharaj in particular. Shahu Maharaj always spoke for social progression. He was against the caste system. He was against, he tried to overcome all kinds of communal divides. Last year, and my grandfather was born in Kolhapur, so I have a particular affection for this land. Communal riots took place in Kolhapur over a social media post, Hindus versus Muslims. Shivaji Maharaj's army had Hindus and Muslims working together, fighting together against the Mughals. That is the truth of Shivaji Maharaj. Can I be assured by you today, whoever comes to power, you will ensure there will be no dange in Kolhapur. Kolhapur mein kabhi aap dange hone nahi doge. Dono ko main sawal pooch raha hu. You start first, Kunal.
Whenever our leaders have spoken on record, they have always said that we will give equal justice to be it Hindus, to be it Muslims, to Sikhs, Christians, and each and every minority there is in Maharashtra. Let me get to the point. It is not us who are giving...
Who is spreading this hate on social media? Who is spreading the hate on social media?
The hate has been on social media because of certain agencies of the opposition who target us on certain communal issues when they have themselves played appeasement politics for years. They have been doling out thousands of crores of rupees to the Waqf board, and they want 10% reservation for the Muslim community itself. 10% reservation.
So you're saying appeasement politics is resulting in this one? Okay, let me give you a final word therefore, Pushparaj Deshpande. The accusation is being made that you all are playing appeasement politics, even as you are accusing them of spreading a communal divide. I want to understand from you, Pushparaj Deshpande, it's not as if riots did not take place when the Congress was in power. I saw 92, 93 in Mumbai, among other riots in this state. I want to ask you, can you give me an assurance, if your government comes to power, you will ensure that cities like Kolhapur will never see riots again?
100%. We are committed to upholding the rule of law. We are not a party that misuses the law and the law apparatus to target specific communities. He talked about the fact that we are inclusive. सबके साथ हम लोग एक ही साथ कर रहे हैं, कोई भेदभाव नहीं करते हैं. Yet in the next sentence he said, लेकिन मुसलमानों को इतना 10% दिया, मुसलमानों की दिया. ये himself, his hypocrisy. मतलब कोई hypocrisy की सीमा ही नहीं होती है. That's the first thing. And the second thing, let me finish. Which is exactly what we're talking about. The Constitution talks about equity. This is exactly what we're talking about. And if you're going to amend the Constitution, if you're genuinely not looking after Christians, Lingayats, Jains, Buddhists, Muslims, then say so openly. Why are you doing this two-faced politics? सामने से कुछ कर रहे हो, पीछे से कुछ कर रहे हो, और ये काटेंगे बटेंगे हमने नहीं शुरू किया है. No Indian needs to be told that we love India. Every Indian believes that we're Indians, and Indians firstly and lastly, as Ambedkar told us.
Why does
every Hindu, one second, let me finish. Every Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Lingayat feels that they are Indians. Who is the one who is talking?
Why does their leader feel the need to comment on a fatwa by the
and the fact of the matter is,
Muslim board?
Who is
let them answer
the foremost leader of the country.
I've heard both. I've heard
the foremost leader of the country is saying,
I've heard both sides. I've heard both sides. ये जनता है, ये सब जानती है. इस जनता में हिंदू मुस्लिम है, इस जनता में मराठा है, ओबीसी है, ब्राह्मण है, सब है. लेकिन हम पहले इंडियन है. और छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज का ये सबसे बड़ा मैसेज था. That was his message, a message of inclusion. United in the truest sense, we stand. And that's why Shivaji Maharaj, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj are venerated in this part of the country in Kolhapur. Do not reduce them केवल to a putla, to a statue. उनके आदर्श पे चलिए, तब कोल्हापुर और भारत और महाराष्ट्र आगे बढ़ेगा. On that note, Kunal and Pushparaj, thank you very much for joining me. When we return, we are turning from Kolhapur to Solapur. You are watching our special program here, Maharashtra Maza.
जाओगी कैसे?
हेलो, मैं आ रहा हूँ. भगा कर ले जाऊंगा.
सिक्योरिटी, भाग गए, पकड़ो उनको. हेलो.
बोला था ना, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा.
एक हिंट तो देते.
हिंट?
बड़े आराम से. Cola makes you wish everything was as vibrant. आ तो गए, जाओगे कैसे?
हेलो, मैं आ रहा हूँ, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा।
सिक्योरिटी भाग गए, पकड़ो उनको। हेलो
बोला था ना, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा।
एक हिंट तो देते?
हिंट?
बड़े आराम से।
Pure Wash Electronic Seat by Kohler. Wish everything was this intelligent.
Welcome back to our special Maharashtra Maza coverage, where I want to turn from Kolhapur to Solapur, another town in southern Maharashtra on the border with Karnataka. A town which has clearly seen better days. This is where uniforms were once made for the Allied forces during World War II, and it became a textile hub. But today, Solapur is struggling. It is one of the towns of Maharashtra which witnesses one of the highest out-migrations to other places in the country. I stopped off in Solapur to find out why things have changed in this once bustling town. How are you?
I'm fine. Now, welcome to Solapur, Rajiv. Very welcome to Solapur.
I have a few friends here.
Yeah.
Mr. Sharma is my old friend.
Yeah.
Heads a cooperative bank or part of a cooperative bank.
Sure.
And many years ago we met and we are still friends. Kai Solapur में क्या बदला है?
सोलापुर में कुछ नहीं बदला है।
मैं कितने 15 साल हो गए?
1995 में आए थे, तब से लेके आज बहुत कुछ ज्यादा नहीं बदला है।
नहीं बदला है?
बहुत कुछ ज्यादा नहीं बदला है।
अच्छे के लिए कुछ बदला नहीं है? अच्छे के लिए क्या बदला है?
कुछ नहीं, कुछ नया इंडस्ट्री नहीं आ रहा है, कुछ नहीं,
नया इंडस्ट्री नहीं आ रहा है।
कुछ नहीं आ
पुराने यहाँ तो एक टेक्सटाइल मिल का हब था।
टेक्सटाइल मिल का हब था, वो भी अब बंद हो रहा है। पुराना जो यहाँ का मशहूर जेकॉर्ड था, वो बहुत से उसके कारखाने बंद पड़े हैं, उसकी जगह टर्किश टॉवेल आ गया है। बीडी उद्योग जो था लेबर इंटेंसिव, वो भी बंद हो गया है। धीरे-धीरे
ये बड़ी सोलापुर रिमेम्बर वाज एन इम्पोर्टेंट बीडी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग स्पेस इन महाराष्ट्र, तो वो भी बंद पड़ रहा है।
वो भी बंद पड़ रहा है।
और कपड़े की दुकान क्यों बंद, कपड़े के टेक्सटाइल मिल्स क्यों बंद पड़ रहे हैं?
3 यहाँ के मेजर मिल थे। वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट मिल, जूनी मिल, which used to produce the uniform cloth for the Allied forces during the World War II.
I see.
वो भी बंद हो गया लेबर प्रॉब्लम की वजह से। धीरे-धीरे सभी बंद हो गए।
And people are migrating out of Solapur.
People are migrating out of Solapur. Even textile business has migrated to Andhra Pradesh during Chandrababu Naidu's regime. He offered. Yeah.
You are close to Andhra Pradesh, you are close to Karnataka, so you have lost out to Andhra Pradesh, you have lost out to Karnataka.
Surely, yeah. We lost.
Hi, Sharma ji, you are not giving me any good news about Solapur.
All the young generation, no one is ready to live in Solapur. They are all migrating to Bangalore, to Pune, to Mumbai, to Hyderabad for jobs. No job opportunities there.
नमस्कार, यंग जनरेशन की बात हो रही है। कैसे हैं? Where are you all from? Solapur? शर्मा जी मला सांगते थे यंग जनरेशन सोलापुर छोड़ून जाते हैं, आप लोग सब छोड़ रहे हैं सोलापुर, क्यों?
पुणे में जॉब्स नहीं है, जॉब नहीं है सर,
कोई जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं है यहाँ पे, कंपनी वगैरह भी नहीं है इधर पर। पर यंग लोग, आप लोग सब पुणे दूसरी जगह जा रहे हैं
क्योंकि यहाँ पे जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, तो यंग जनरेशन को बाहर जाना पड़ता है। यहाँ पे जो जॉब है वो कम देता है, पैकेजेस वगैरह, तो उतने में कुछ होता नहीं है, तो बाहर जाके अच्छा मिलता है। ये सर सेम, यहाँ पे अपॉर्चुनिटी इतनी ज्यादा नहीं है। पुणे, मुंबई, हैदराबाद, बेंगलोर,
एवरीवेयर बट नॉट सोलापुर। I'm here at the Tilak Chowk in the heart of Solapur. Now, Solapur was once seen as a major textile hub. In fact, it had a number of major textile factories. Unfortunately, many of them have closed down in recent times, which is why out-migration from Solapur has increased. This is one of those towns whose population has actually not grown because people are leaving Solapur. Why is that? Let's try and find out. Come with me. कैसे हो भाई साहब? अच्छा, देखता हूँ मैं आपको। बिजनेस कैसे चल रहा है?
ठीक चल रहा है।
हाँ,
ठीक चल रहा है।
और ये मिल जो बंद पड़ गए,
ये मिल जो बंद पड़ गया वो क्या हो गया है, सोलापुर में जो चद्दर बनते थे कॉटन के,
हाँ।
उसको सब्स्टिट्यूट ऐसा ब्लैंकेट निकल गया अमृतसर का, वो सस्ता रहता उसके हिसाब से, वो हिसाब से वो थोड़ा मिल बंद पड़ गया।
चाइना ने भी शुरू कर दिया ये सब बनाना, या बाकी जगह से बनने लगा? कर्नाटका।
वो एक्चुअली क्या है, पहला सोलापुर के चद्दर बहुत बेचते थे।
अच्छा,
मगर अभी क्या हो गया, वो एक तो
सब्स्टिट्यूट आ रहे हैं उसके।
सब्स्टिट्यूट, दूसरा बात बोले तो वो एक बार ले तो 15 साल नहीं फटता, तो
ये
उसको
कौन सा है?
ये अमृतसर का ब्लैंकेट है।
सब अमृतसर का ब्लैंकेट आ रहा है, तो सोलापुर का ब्लैंकेट किधर गया?
सोलापुर का चद्दर आता है कॉटन।
अच्छा, सोलापुर का कॉटन चद्दर आता है, दिखाइए। अच्छा, सोलापुर का कॉटन चद्दर आता है, और ये जो अमृतसर का है,
लुधियाना में बनता है
ये ज्यादा बिकता है क्या?
हाँ, ज्यादा बिकते हैं।
क्यों?
अट्रैक्टिव है, रेट सस्ता रहता है।
अट्रैक्टिव है। अमृतसर ने टेक ओवर कर दिया सोलापुर का के चद्दर को।
ये देखो, ये सोलापुर का चद्दर
बहुत अच्छा है।
अच्छा है,
लेकिन
मगर क्या है, एक बार ले तो 15 साल फटता नहीं, रिपीट ग्राहक आता नहीं उसको। हाँ,
और उसके लिए
वो 2-4 साल में फट जाता है,
पर फिर भी लोग ले लेते हैं। सस्ता है,
दिखने में अच्छा है
और सस्ता है।
सस्ता भी है, उसमें सस्ता भी निकलता है।
चलो, थैंक यू। सोलापुर is losing out to Amritsar. Now the Member of Parliament for Solapur is Praniti Shinde, daughter of the former Chief Minister Sushil Kumar Shinde. She has to answer charges both on why has Solapur not developed fast enough, and is she simply another entitled dynast? Listen in to Praniti Shinde, the Solapur MP. Joining me now is the Solapur MP, Praniti Shinde of the Congress Party. Appreciate you joining us, Praniti. I've come to Solapur after a while, and I've found that one thing hasn't changed, is that it seems that more and more people from Solapur are leaving Solapur to go to Mumbai and Pune for jobs, because the textile mills have closed down and there are no sources, they say, of job opportunities. How do you respond as a young MP to the fact that the young don't have enough opportunities in Solapur?
You know, things are changing, definitely. I mean, when the Congress was in power, we got Solapur water. My father had a very instrumental role in getting the Ujni pipeline. And then also there's a parallel pipeline that we're bringing from Ujni through the NTPC CSR to Solapur. But this work since the last 10 years has not received any money from the central government or from the state government since the BJP has been in power. For some reason, even when it comes to water, road and IT companies or even the airport, BJP tends to play a lot of politics. Just recently,
I'm sorry, you've been in power for most of the last 70 years in Solapur. The Congress has dominated Solapur. You can't blame it only on the last 10 years, can you?
No. Because we were in power in the last 70 years, we've got the airport here. We got Kingfisher Red operating here when we were in power. We got the Duheri pipeline. We had NTPC projects here. We had BSF here. We got most of the roads, the Nagrothan Yojana, the Pani Purautha Yojana. We got, the Congress party got all this in Solapur. But ever since the BJP has come, the development has stopped. The airport, for example, the airport, they just inaugurated and the newly renovated airport, but there are no takeoff and landings happening. There is no air service in Solapur, which is why most of the youngsters are now, moving towards Pune and Nashik or Bombay.
But I met a youngster who said something, why can't we have an IT park in Solapur? Made the point that the textile mills, the big textile mills that were here have closed down. There are a variety of reasons for that, but either way, it appears that Solapur has somewhere lost out to the rest of Western Maharashtra. This kind of growth that's taken place in other parts of Maharashtra is of Western Maharashtra, not taken place in Solapur. Do you, in a way, accept that Solapur needs a complete reboot?
See, the BJP has been actually in power. There's been a BJP MP for a longer period of time in Solapur than there has been a Congress MP. If you fish out the record, the history of Solapur, in spite of which maximum number of works have happened when there's been a Congress MP and when Congress has been in power. Certainly, if you see the connectivity from Pune to Solapur or from Solapur to anywhere, Aurangabad, it's been great. There have been roads that are happening, but in the last 10 years, there's been a standstill.
You've been the MLA then? You've been the MLA in this period.
I'm talking about big projects like airports.
You've been the MLA in the last 10 years.
The Kingfisher Red Service. The other guys were all BJP mantris. Vijay Deshmukh was a mantri. Subhash Deshmukh was a mantri. In what way have they contributed to the development of Solapur? We've not had the Mahanagarpalika elections. It's been 1.5 years. It's been overdue. There's no water in Solapur. In spite of water in Ujni, why is the corporation not giving Solapur water every day? There's enough water, but there's no political will. There's no water coming from there because the Duheri pipeline ka kaam has stopped in Solapur.
No, I'm only comparing Solapur to what I see in some other parts of Maharashtra like Pune or Nashik, which seem to have been part of an industrial corridor that maybe Solapur because of its location lost out. But either way, when I hear that young people are all leaving Solapur to go to other places, it's disappointing.
I have a question to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister, when he came here, he promised that he's going to boost the textile industry by bringing in uniforms for the CISF and the CRPF. Now it's common that the textile industry makes chaddars and towels, not uniforms. In spite of...
They used to make uniforms for the Allied forces during the Second World War in Solapur.
The Prime Minister promised that he would bring that back. Nothing happened. I want to ask the Prime Minister, in spite of including Solapur in the Udan scheme, why is there no airline service? You're just re-inaugurating the airport, but why is there no airline service? What has happened? Why is Solapur second pipeline work not happening yet? Why is there no IT park when the BJP was in power? The Solapur people have voted for them, but they've done nothing for Solapur. Now that I have come as MP and the Solapur people have entrusted their trust in me, I'm going to get the ball moving for sure. I met the Civil Aviation Minister. I met Jitin Prasad for an IT park and I've set the ball rolling.
Okay. I want to just shift it a little bit because Maharashtra elections are here. One thing I see as I go across Maharashtra is family politics. Everywhere I go, I see sons, daughters, son-in-laws, brother-in-laws.
In the BJP as well.
Across parties in Maharashtra. Family involves everyone. Somewhere down the line, is there a weakness you think? This Gharane Shahi, I was in Bede where people complained no average person can aspire to enter politics because politics is monopolized by families. There are about 100 families contesting in these Maharashtra elections. What does that say?
Listen, I don't want to comment about the BJP, but all I can say is the Congress second-line generation that has entered politics, the people have voted us. It's a democracy. It's a thriving democracy. I've been elected 3 times from this constituency because I've worked. And I think we don't play partisan politics. We don't divide people on the basis of caste, creed or community. We only work for the people. And it's those values that the people of this country, the people of this constituency have particularly...
If your surname was not a Shinde, would you be so easily acceptable to the people of Solapur? Are you in a way getting the benefit of what your father Sushil Kumar Shinde did?
My first election was most definitely beginner's luck, and it was only that surname that helped me win my first. But my second and third election, I had to prove a point. We had our own people leave our party, contest against me, in spite of which this secular constituency has voted for me because of the work. And I think work counts.
What is a secular constituency? What is a secular constituency?
This constituency, because BJP and other parties have played divide and rule. They have candidates from every community to try and garner support from every community, but people have ultimately voted for the Congress candidate based on work. So the Solapur city centre has proved that only secularism and work counts. And
but do families monopolize the resources of every town? Wherever I go, district by district in Maharashtra, there's 1 or 2 families that seem to run the show. Is that a good sign for democracy or a problem?
I just want to say that this time for Solapur, the tickets that we have distributed, the MLAs, the MLA candidates are all Congress workers. And they have been Congress workers. They've been working for the party for so many years. Unlike some other places where, people have got tickets for, family. But here, we believe in the party workers. And even the Mahanagarpalika elections, we've always given tickets, distributed tickets amongst people who've had no political background. But again, it's a democracy. If somebody is working for the party, if somebody is working for the people, people are smart enough to vote for them and not vote for them. You've seen party politics and you've seen dynasty politics, but sons and daughters who have not delivered have not been voted back to power.
So is your self-image that of a dynast or of a working MP? I was quite impressed when I saw your office. Lots of people waiting for you to get their work done. Are you a working MP or are you an entitled dynast? Is Praniti Shinde an entitled dynast again, daughter of Sushil Kumar Shinde?
I think if we would be saying entitled dynast, we would be insulting the people who have voted for me. The people of this city, the people of this district have voted for me because I've worked hard. I've worked for them. I work at the grassroots level. And for me, people people's power is supreme power. And after being elected to power, I have made sure that I've tried to make a difference into every home that has voted for me.
You've tried to make a difference. Give me one way how. Give me one thing that you're proud of that you've done. You've been in politics now for a decade. What's the one thing you're really proud of?
In Solapur city, I have a UPSC, MPSC center that I have, started from scratch. I have entered every home. I have fought for the BD workers. As you know, there are about 75,000 women BD workers. I have raised their voices in parliament. And in
That's another industry which is struggling.
And let me tell you, when the BJP came to power, they were threatened. They were almost going to shut down. We fought for them and we made sure the BD industry survived. And that the government, we're still stressing that the government should provide the BD industry, the women, with an alternative healthy source of employment that the government has not able to do. The textile workers are struggling today. Maharashtra government has not given them Yantrama Kamgar Kalyan Mandal. I have raised a voice for them every time. I also worked for people when it comes to medical issues or when it comes to Sanjay Niradhar Yojana. I think it's a small, my planning is micro planning. I'm more about micro than about macro. And it's the small differences that make a difference. When you touch people's heart, I think they believe in you and they trust you.
Final word. Is your future in Delhi and its politics, or is it in Maharashtra? Where is your heart? In Maharashtra or in Delhi politics?
It's Maharashtra, it's Solapur that takes me to Delhi. So I will never forget Solapur. I owe Solapur big. And it's always at the grassroots. I'm a grassroots and I believe in electoral politics. So I'll always be a grassroots worker.
Okay. There you have the new face in a way of a particular family of Maharashtra politics. I interviewed your father 34 years ago when he first was a minister at the time, of course, in Maharashtra. Now I'm interviewing you 34 years later. It makes me old.
No.
And you're young. I'm not young. I wish I was young at heart, but it's good to know that age is just a number. It's good to know that there are some young dynasts, if I may call that, who are determined to work at the grassroots with micro-planning and focus on their constituency. Whether that will help you win the elections in Solapur, I don't know. Are you confident that MVA will win this election, or will it be the Mahayuti?
Most definitely the MVA. Because
or will it be a hung assembly? Everyone is telling me it's going to be a Maharashtrian missile, a khichdi.
MVA all the way. And even in the last Lok Sabha elections, in spite of Mahayuti using Sam, Dam, Dan, ED and BT, MVA won because the people voted.
BT?
Yes.
That's nice. ED and Dar.
In spite of that, the people have voted for democracy.
They voted for you. Played the Dalit Muslim card. You played the Dalit Muslim card. You tried to bring the Dalits and Muslims together.
We brought the constitution, which is at threat, in front of the people. The democracy is at threat, and of course
that was a fake narrative. The BJP says this constitution at the Samvidhan Khatre mein is a fake narrative.
It worked. We got our numbers in Maharashtra.
Will it work in the Vidhan Sabha?
Of course it will. Of course.
Same thing will work again.
There'll be a silent revolution through the ballot boxes.
Silent revolution through the ballot boxes. Praniti Shinde, pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much. Rajdeep Sardesai in Solapur. Let's turn back from Solapur to Kolhapur, where I am. And when it's night time in Kolhapur and you have, like I do, the appetite for good non-vegetarian food, this is the place to be. I know we are on Maharashtra Maza, but don't forget, it's also elections on my plate occasionally. And when you're in Kolhapur, you're spoilt for choice. Not between the MVA and the Mahayuti, but something unique. Take a look. Tamda ya Pandra is the big battle here in Kolhapur. What's the best way to have your Kolhapuri food? Kiran Patole is an old friend who's going to tell me from Rajdhani Hotel. Pandra ya Tamda, कुठलं तुम्हाला आवडतं? तुमचा फेवरेट?
पांढरा फेवरेट आहे आमचा दोन्ही पण.
दोन्ही?
यस यस.
अरे तुम यार वैसे फिर खिचड़ी बना दोगे. MVA महायुति.
व्हाइट एकदम फेमस है.
To give you an basic guide to food, Tamda is red masala Kolhapuri style, and Pandra is white gravy with a bit of cobra and even some cashew and some green mirchi pan takta na, hari mirchi.
Yes.
But it's all very spicy. As we say in Marathi, zanzanit.
Yes.
Cup. अरे वाह, काय बनवत आहे? कुठली तुमची स्पेशल काय आहे तिथं? व्हेरी गुड. Oh, the smell is terrific. I can smell it. I am back home. अच्छा, हे तुमचा पांढरा आहे का? ये व्हाइट है. ओ हो. व्हाइट रस्सा. पांढरा रस्सा. This is the पांढरा रस्सा, the white rassa. Superb. So it's very flavorful. Very flavorful. हे तुमची फेवरेट का?
येस येस, कोल्हापुरात याच्यासाठीच आपल्याला नंबर मिळाला.
अच्छा पांढरा तर पहिला, आता तांबडा.
हा तांबडा आहे.
ओ हो
प्युअर तांबडा.
प्युअर तांबडा.
एकदम
झणझणीत. The way I like it. Too good. This is my favorite, the spicy. But if you're a truly flavorful Indian palate, then you must try the pandra. Just think about it. This is the gravy that we put in chicken मध्ये, मटन मध्ये, सगळ्यात. मटन मध्ये.
मटन सूप मध्ये सगळं बनतंय.
पण माझ्या पोटासाठी बेटर कुठलं?
दोन्ही पण बेटर आहेत सर.
दोन्ही बेटर.
एकदम बेस्ट.
अरे तुम्ही पण आता असं करताय, महायुती पण चांगली आणि महाविकास आघाडी पण चांगली, दोन्हीमध्ये तुम्हाला चूज करावं लागेल.
ते कसं आहे, प्यायसाठी पांढरा चांगला आहे, पण जेवणासाठी तुम्हाला तांबडाच चांगला असणार ना.
अच्छा. Wow. This is very special, and remember, that's what makes Kolhapuri food so special. One of my favorite foods in the country is the Kolhapuri chicken and the overall food, because deep down inside part of me is Kolhapuri. So when in Kolhapur, always remember, choose between Tamda and Pandra. Enjoy both. Who will win the elections, we don't know. We have decided to give the vote to both. Rajdeep Sardesai in Kolhapur. For elections on my plate? No, sorry. For Maharashtra Masa. Now, as I crisscross Maharashtra, I'm meeting people of all age groups, including little school children. They may not be able to vote, but they sure know what they want to be when they grow up. One thing they don't want to be, sadly, is journalists. Maybe they're onto something good. Well, I'm going to leave you with that exchange with school children in Solapur. For now, stay well, stay safe. Jai Hind, Namaskar, Maharashtra Masa. कोणाला पत्रकार तर नाही व्हायचंय ना? नाही, तुला व्हायचंय? तुला पत्रकार व्हायचंय? काय करणार? न्यूज करणार तू? दाखवणार न्यूज टीव्हीवर? बाकी कोणाला व्हायचं नाही ना? व्हेरी गुड, मजा आहे. वेल डन.
जाओगे कैसे?
हेलो, मैं आ रहा हूँ. भगा कर ले जाऊंगा. सिक्योरिटी, भाग गए, पकड़ो उनको. हेलो, बोला था ना, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा.
एक हिंट तो देते.
हिंट.
बड़े आराम से.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Sveda by Kola. Wish everything cared for your skin.
जमाने से हटकर बेबाक है मेरा सिग्नेचर फाइनेस्ट cardamom seeds, a premium product from Dilbar Group.
Colors by Kola makes you wish everything was as vibrant.
Rangila with Motorola's incredible range of smartphones.
Hello, Moto.
Pure Wash Electronic Seat by Kohler. Wish everything was this intelligent.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Hi, I am AI anchor Sana, bringing the top headlines for you, presented by Motorola. PM Modi attacks MVA alliance in Maharashtra, says Aghadi biggest player of corruption. Petition in High Court against NCP leader Nawab Malik, demand to cancel candidature. Politics heats up over Uddhav's back checking, Sharad Pawar says government is targeting opponents.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
जाओगे कैसे?
हेलो, मैं आ रहा हूँ, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा। सिक्योरिटी, भाग गए, पकड़ो उनको। हेलो, बोला था ना, भगा कर ले जाऊंगा।
एक हिंट तो देते।
हिंट,
बड़े आराम से।
इस प्रकार की बयानबाजी करने की नौबत प्रधानमंत्री पर क्यों आ रही है? बटेंगे तो कटेंगे नहीं चला, बटेंगे तो कटेंगे लोगों ने फेंक दिया हमारे यहाँ। अब एक खाई तो सेफ है, किसको आप एक कर रहे हो, किसको सेव कर रहे हो? इस राज्य की पूरी जनता आपकी नहीं है क्या? इस देश की पूरी जनता आपकी नहीं है? हम सेफ है महाराष्ट्र में, और हमको ज्यादा सेफ होना है, इसलिए हमको बीजेपी को यहाँ से निकालना है।
It's very sad. In Maharashtra, we are a united force. This is Chhatrapati Shivaji's Maharashtra, Shahu Phule Ambedkar's Maharashtra. This divisive politics will be rejected by Maharashtra.
When I first went on the Bharat Chodo Yatra, I was a bit surprised because it was a political walk to give a message that everybody should stand together, everybody should be united, everybody should respect each other. Beginning of the yatra already I noticed that I was hugging people, people were kissing me, I was saying I love you, they were saying we love you. It is because the people of Wayanad gave me so much love and affection that my entire politics changed. The only weapon to actually counter hatred, anger is love and affection. I'm already your unofficial member of parliament, so I don't need to stand as the official member of parliament. I was member of parliament of Wayanad for 5 years. What did I get from the people of Wayanad? Whenever I come here, naturally I feel happy.
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 33 and minimum 20 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 31 and minimum 25 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 30 and minimum 21 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 25 and minimum 20 degrees. Chennai, maximum 30 and minimum 25 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 29 and minimum 19 degrees.
Trump pro-India team. Big two positions to India supporters. India caucus, Mike Waltz, new US NSA. Marco Rubio, the new US State Secretary. India-US ties to remain strong under Trump. Donald Trump's pro-India message.
So when we talk about Donald Trump's team that's coming together in the United States of America, it's not just India, it's the entire world that's looking at Trump 2.0 and the team that he's putting together. Because every member of that team will have a critical role to play, whether internally or externally. What do they think? What is their ideology? The focus is on key appointments in Trump 2.0, and we will focus on India-US relations. We'll also talk about what's happening on a wider scale, whether it comes to the Israel-Iran conflict or the Russia-Ukraine conflict, or how countries like China will respond. I have Ambassador Taranjit Singh Sandhu, India's former ambassador to the United States, and he's been there through a very critical period, joining me on this special broadcast to decode. But two pro-India faces have been picked by Donald Trump in 2.0, in his team 2.0. There are many, but we are focusing on two: Mike Waltz and Marco Rubio. Why are we focusing on them? Mike Waltz, the new national security advisor, becomes extremely critical. He's co-chair of the India caucus, and we're talking about this in greater detail. He's talked about India-US partnership being the strategic partnership for the US in the 21st century. We'll also talk about Marco Rubio, the top pick to be US Secretary of State. We'll talk about all the president's men and women who will lead the charge when it comes to the Trump era. Because 2.0 becomes very critical. This is the time that Donald Trump will be thinking about leaving a legacy internally and externally. So let's talk about the National Security Advisor. The current co-chair of the India caucus, he's called India-US Partnership, the strategic relationship of the 21st century. He played a critical role in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's address to the joint session of the US Congress in June 2023. Consistently condemned attacks on the Indian consulates. Why? He's a Green Beret. He was in the US Army. He was a colonel in the US Army. He's had extensive tours of duty in Afghanistan. So he knows Pakistan inside out. If we were to talk about Marco Rubio, likely to be Secretary of State, Senator from Florida, he's the one who introduced that US-India Defense Cooperation Act, July 2024. He has an extremely hard stance on expansionist forces like China, has advocated very strong ties with India, has long advocated a NATO-like relationship with India. Now, just a short while back, I spoke to India's ambassador, former ambassador to the United States of America, Ambassador Taranjit Singh Sandhu, on the topics and on the India-US relationship and how it will impact the region and the world. Listen in. So the president-elect in the United States of America, Donald Trump, is now putting together his team. And to decode Donald Trump in the White House, with me is Ambassador Taranjit Singh Sandhu, India's former ambassador to the United States of America. And few people know and understand the thinking of the American leadership, whether it's the Republicans or the Democrats, better than Ambassador Sandhu. Ambassador Sandhu, many thanks for joining me here on India Today.
Thank you, Gaurav. Wonderful to see you. I know you have been in so many action places. I keep watching you all over.
Sir, welcome, and I'm glad you could find time to join us on India Today. What does Donald Trump in the White House mean for India? And, we'll take it one by one on various issues, India, the region, the world. But Donald Trump in the White House, how will the relationship between India and the United States be different than the Biden administration in your view?
So, Gaurav, this particular election, it is historic in three ways. See, firstly, it is rarely, perhaps more than 100 years, that a former president contested elections and won. Number two, he's also got the popular vote. It's been rare with Republican presidential candidates to win the popular vote. Now, the popular vote gives him a mandate. And thirdly, and this also is again a very rare case, that all the three chambers this time are likely to come to the Republicans, which means administration, Senate, and the House will all be under Republican control, which further means that he can push through his agenda in the first 2 years. And why I'm saying first 2 years? Because the midterms will come in 2 years. And as always, as in any democracy, it is difficult to predict. Because the pressure will be on him to deliver.
Yes. And there's so much hope with which he's entering White House in terms of what he's promised, the kind of mandate the United States has given to him. But if we were to talk about India specific, and we're looking at his team that's coming together, the team that campaigned for him, his vice president, other people, how do you see all of them coming together, and how does that work for India?
I think you very correctly pointed out, and you mentioned about his vice presidential candidate. He's going to be a very important part. And in coming years, you will see him emerging because he's very young. He had very recently got elected as a senator, and I was there that time. But one of the less known parts, we all know it, but we often miss it, is the influence of his wife, Usha Vance.
Usha
Chilkuri, of course, from Andhra, Telugu. But she's going to be the first second lady. However, she's been a very powerful influence on him. And you have to only read his bestseller, Hilly Billy Elegy, or watch, most of your audience now can go to Netflix. The movie is available there. Watch it. And you will see the influence of his wife. And he has himself admitted that in his success, she's played a very, very important role. And she's always been a topper. And remember, Yale, Cambridge, that's the background. And her grandfather, ask any of the IITians, he's a legend there, Rama Shastri. So that's the first important influence. But let's come to the cabinet or the close advisors that are being assembled. So far, the choices have been well regarded.
So let's take those choices one by one, Ambassador. Let's begin with Mike Waltz. He's known as the warrior diplomat. His choice to be his national security advisor. How do you look at the warrior diplomat who's anyway said that 21st century is, for the US, India is the most important partnership. But how do you look at Mike Waltz as NSA, sir?
So just before I come to Congressman Mike Waltz, with whom we have had a great relationship, he's a great believer in India-US partnership, and personally too, both him and his wife, I've had a excellent, outstanding relationship. But I also want to mention about the Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles. This is the first female Chief of Staff. And Chief of Staff is a very critical appointment in the United States. And Susie Wiles has led the successful campaign of President Trump. And she's highly regarded and respected by him and the rest. She's a bridge builder, and therefore she's a performer. That's a very positive thing to watch in this selection, as I'm seeing it. Now, let's come to Congressman Mike Waltz, as you said. Firstly, Congressman Mike Waltz is going to have a cabinet rank this time. President Trump has declared that. And he's an army veteran. He's a colonel. He has served in Afghanistan. So he knows the war. And today, since it's a Veterans Day, he's highly respected in the US. And when I say he's one of our strongest supporters on Capitol, this is no exaggeration. Just look at his statements, on India-US strategic partnership. He wrote an article in 2021 in Foreign Policy, where he used the word most consequential relationship. He has strongly asked for priority to be given to US-India partnership. And there he has spoken about everything. I mean, I'm sure those areas, you want to talk about Pakistan, you want to talk about China, but also about the new emerging technology partnership between United States and India. And that's why this relationship has moved to a partnership. IT, digital, cyber security. These are the areas which Mike has spoken about. And, his wife, Julia, by the way, she was the domestic policy advisor to President Trump last time. So this is a power couple. And with him, we have certainly focus coming to India. I'm sure you have seen many of his interviews. They are floating around today. But something, again, wonderful to remember is that he co-led the congressional delegation to last year's Independence Day celebrations. And, the Prime Minister himself acknowledged the presence of this CODEL. And he, of course, has a good relationship with both our National Security Advisor and External Affairs Minister. So having him as NSA is definitely a positive for United States-India partnership. Incidentally, the outgoing NSA was also very positive on India-US. And we have seen that. I think ISET is a wonderful product where both our NSA and Jake Sullivan contributed. So this will only deepen and go further.
In fact, I remember interviewing you once earlier where you'd said that India's biggest advantage, or words to that effect, whether it's the Republicans or the Democrats, our relationship remains on a high. But if we were to specifically talk about the NSA and US-China relations, given the statements that have been made by Donald Trump, do you see China nervous or uncomfortable with this team coming together?
See, along with NSA, if the likely, what is equivalent of External Affairs Minister, the Secretary of State, in the US system, he's the number 2. He's actually designated as number 2. And that's going to be Senator Marco Rubio. And just 2-3 things I want to mention about him, and then both combined take your question. Firstly, he's a strong supporter of India-US strategic partnership. Again, and here I want to point out, in June of 2020, at the time when Galwan aggression happened, he spoke to me and with a clear expression of solidarity with India. Look, at that time, there were not many who were coming out. He came out, and that tweet is for everyone to see. So he's a person who stood with India during the time of aggression. And that's why I want to point out to that. He, of course, has been a great advocate of India-US defense cooperation. There are 3 aspects. He has put bills in the US Senate, and 3 aspects. 1, he talks of technology transfer. 2nd, he talks of ban on military aid to Pakistan. And 3rd, CATSA exemption. So I think all these 3 will indicate to you that both these people who are going to be in the critical strategic positions have a very positive approach towards India. And that, since I am a retired diplomat now, I can certainly venture some of India's not friendly countries may be a bit worried. Now, if you see the statements of both these people on our northern neighbor, I think they are very, very explicit. And mind you, I want to mention here that the northern neighbor in the United States, domestic politics has become an issue. And they have no one else to blame but themselves. So when that happens, there is an additional aspect which every US politician will have to look internally to.
And this entire interview is on India Today Digital. We have a big story that's coming in from Canada. Remember, Ambassador Taranjeet Sandhu was also talking about not just India's northern and western neighbors, but even the northern neighbor of the United States of America may not be very comfortable with the Donald Trump administration. And why? It's because of the support that Canada gives to Khalistani terrorists. And it's not just in words, but it's in action, in deeds. The Canadian police, for example, they've showed their commitment to doing absolutely nothing when it comes to protecting Hindu temples from escalating Khalistani threats. The latest incident is the inability of the Canadian police or their unwillingness to provide security to a Hindu temple event. And remember, it's not just a temple event. The Indian consulate was to hold a life certificate giving event at the Trivedi Mandir in Brampton. Now, this had to be cancelled due to security concerns following the inability or unwillingness of the police to provide security to this event. Now, in an open letter, the Trivedi Hindu Temple management has expressed their frustration, that saying that people in Canada, they're feeling unsafe even visiting temples. Imagine this is in Pakistan. It's Canada, where Hindus and Sikhs, they're actually apprehensive and they're scared when they visit temples. The Trivedi Mandir management urged the Peel police. Remember, Peel police had to, under intense global scrutiny, suspend a sergeant of theirs, not some rookie. A sergeant had to be suspended because he was a part of the Khalistani protests. So that is how compromised police are in Canada. But Peel police sergeant had to be suspended, and the police were urged to take action to ensure security and to protect the Hindu community and Canadians who are visiting this temple. Unfortunately, the Canadian police, they put up their hands saying, we cannot provide security. If you want security, you'll have to pay for it, or words to that effect. Professor Brahma Chilani is one of India's best-known strategic analysts who joins me on this special broadcast. Professor Chilani, you and I have been discussing Canada even in the past, but how do you assess the response of the Canadian police? Indian temple is forced to cancel an event because security is not provided.
Part of the police in Canada have this pompous name, Royal Canadian